Good afternoon. Welcome to the Vauxhall Lucas Stadium here at Chester City FC, or Chester FC as it is now. I'm Chris Bell. Alongside me is Dave Kendra. We'll be bringing you full match coverage of this Conference Premier tie, Vanarama National League tie between Chester FC and Guiseley AFC. Of course, it's not been a great couple of weeks really for Guiseley. Two back-to-back home defeats. Before that, just a 1-1 draw away at Barrow. So we are down to 3 games without a win. Dave, good day for football though here in Cheshire.
Yes, good afternoon everybody, David Kendra here, and here we are in Chester. The weather's a little bit overcast, but it's quite warm. We had a little bit of rain earlier in the day, so there'll be a bit of a zip on the pitch, which might play into Guiseley's hands certainly. And we've had a very warm welcome here from the staff at Chester FC, and we're looking forward to a good day's football. Looking out at the pitch now, we just have a little bit of a drizzle going at the moment, so there might be a few slip sliding around this afternoon.
Well, all in all, I think it's one of those things that might help Guiseley, as we say, because we'll hear from Danny Boshell, from Liam Dickinson and from Mark Bauer a little bit later on. But one of the things that Danny Boshell mentioned with Nethermore is because it's been quite dry, quite a good pitch, but it's been a bit, in his words, a bit hard, a bit sticky. It's made it difficult for Guiseley to tip the ball out like they want to. Perhaps that could play into Guiseley's hands with the football they like to play. If there's a bit of dampness, bit of zip on the pitch.
Absolutely, and so that even though the last 2 games have been a bit of a kick in the gut for Guiseley fans after the solid start that we've made, I think there are reasons to be positive today. Although Chester are an excellent side, and they're certainly on a high after a last-minute win on Saturday, scored in the 94th minute by one Craig Hobson. Do you remember Craig Hobson?
Yeah. I've got a feeling that name rings a bell for some reason. But no, of course, to be fair, it's interesting you point on that, because obviously they didn't equalise until the 90th minute. So they equalised in the 90th and nicked the winner in the 94th.
And this is a lesson that Guiseley have to learn as well. I mean, Guiseley are learning a lot of lessons in this last couple of...
We've had to, haven't we?
A bit fed up with learning lessons, to be honest. But play till the very end, and that's clearly a symbol of what Chester are prepared to do. Just play till the very end.
Absolutely, quite right. Well, Colin Robertson, he spoke to Mark Bauer after the game on Saturday against Gateshead, and here is what he had to say.
Joined now by Mark Bauer after the 2-0 home defeat to Gateshead. Mark, obviously we talked about it last week, the fact that we didn't take our chances, and it feels a bit like the same thing again this afternoon. Must be bitterly disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the performance was better today. I thought, for large periods of the game we controlled it and created more chances, but the fact is we've not taken our chances when they've come, and 2 bits of poor defending, and they've been absolutely clinical in front of goal. It's the only 2 chances they've really had in the game. The lads taken them really well, and again that's going to be the difference between winning and losing. We're just finding that the finishing has been of a standard much greater than the level that we've come from, and ultimately that's cost us a game. But I thought I thought we played well throughout the game. I thought we were strong, we were quick, we were on every second ball, controlled the game. Just said to the players there, have they had more possession than us? No. Have they had more possession in the opposition's half? No. Have they had more corners? No. Have they had more shots? No. And have they had more chances? Probably not. Bitterly disappointed to have lost. At the end, shake their manager's hand, and he says that we should have certainly got something from that game, and he felt that flattered them. But it's a harsh lesson really. If we don't get it right in both boxes, we're not going to win games, and we're just not sticking our chance away at the minute.
Yeah, scant consolation, but we did win on the corner count. Apparently it was 11-0 according to the stats guys.
Well, I mean, that just shows how the game's gone, and I thought we set the team up well. I thought we set the team to be a little bit more solid than last week. We were a little bit exposed, and thought it worked well for us, and even though we played just with the one up front, we still created plenty of chances. And looked dangerous, controlled the game. It's just so frustrating that we've put in 6 performances now, and I think 5.5 have been pretty good really. But not doing the right things in each box has cost us and has left us with fewer points really than we probably deserve to have at the minute, or should have at the minute, not deserve.
You talked about making the changes at the end of the Aldershot game. You rung in those changes today. You particular change, the goalkeeper, Dan Atkinson, came in for Stephen Drench.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously like to be as open as possible, but some things need to remain within the four walls of the dressing room, and the reasons for that will remain there.
Overall, in terms of formation, that first half, you did certainly seem to have a formation that was winning a lot more of the ball in the middle of the park. That was obviously a concern in the last game. We've traditionally tried to control games and keep possession and control games from there, and I thought we did that much better today. Obviously, Tully's coming at right back, which pushed Will into midfield, and we got a lot of joy in that area early on. Thought throughout the game really, up until probably 20 minutes to go when we went with two up front, and got some good areas, got some goal scoring positions. Thought we should have had a penalty at 0-0. That obviously worked well for us, and I've just said to the players, I can't fault you for your efforts and the way you've gone about the game plan. Obviously, we've been a bit sloppy defensively on a couple of occasions, ruthlessly punished, and we've just not managed to take our chances when they've come. So to Chester, it's a quick turnaround Monday afternoon. Thoughts ahead of that now?
I mean, say it every week when we look forward to the next one, it's going to be difficult. They're all difficult. Chester, I think they've had a good result today, and they've started really well. So, yeah, going to be difficult. We'll go there. Probably no one's going to really expect much from us, but the performances we've put in, we can take some heart from it that we've competed. I don't think we've come off the field apart from maybe the second half against Aldershot and thought that anyone's really turned us over, and we've gone off thinking that we can more than compete at this level. We're going to have some difficult days and difficult spells, but the real test of the squad and for us is how quickly we can get out of those spells. With 2 defeats on the bounce now, it's important that we don't allow that to snowball and affect the lads' confidence. Lads have got to take confidence from the performances and the fact that they kept going, they've created chances, and on the whole, controlled the majority of that game.
That's Bauer. Oh, there we go. That's better. Just slightly deafened Dave. That was Mark Bauer speaking to Colin after the game on Saturday, the 2-0 defeat against Gateshead. Another game, Dave, where missed chances came out to haunt us.
Well, how many? We talk about learning lessons. How many times do we need to be taught? We've had 4 games now where we've not made the full advantage of an advantageous situation where chances are concerned, where we've created a lot of chances. We failed to punish Aldershot in that first half. We failed to punish Gateshead in that first half. Craddock had an opportunity, pulled a really good save out of their keeper. Boys had a snapshot in the second half as well. We just need to score a goal. It doesn't matter how at this point. It really doesn't.
I think I'm getting to the point where I'd take own goals.
I don't care if it bounces in off Wayne Brooksby's bomb. Let's get it in the back of the net. However we do it, just bundle it in.
Well, this is the thing, because especially on Saturday, we had so much possession. At half-time, we'd had 8 corners and created a couple of half chances at most from 8 corners. We have so much of the ball, tested Sam Russell on a few occasions, and forced him to take a couple of great saves, as you say. On the whole, though, I think, for me, we are having a lot of the ball. We're not doing enough with it, because we're having a few shots, but we're not we're not shooting enough to warrant, scoring these goals.
I think you're right there, Chris. I think there was a couple of points in that Gateshead game where we would get sort of 3/4 of the way up the pitch to sort of around the edge of the D and just overplay it and maybe just lose confidence a little bit and just always try and find the perfect opportunity to curl the ball into the back of the net when all it would need is for just somebody to put their foot through it and bang, it's in the top corner. Yeah, sure, a few of them are going to fly over the bar into the railway end, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But your point stands.
There's a very simple footballing cliche, isn't there, when it comes to shooting? If you don't buy a ticket, you're not going to win the raffle.
I've never won the raffle. I've been playing the raffle about 3 or 4 years. I've never won the raffle. But I take your point. Guiseley, we just need to have a bit more confidence in ourselves up front in going forward. We need to stay tight at the back. I mean, Chester have got a lot of dangerous forwards. We know ourselves what Craig Hobson is at least capable of. Even if he didn't always show it in a Guiseley shirt, he's certainly showing it. He's certainly showing it for Chester. And really just stay concentrated. And as we said before, Chester will play right till the end. And I think what's going to come into play as we go through this season is the fitness levels will start to play a part in the results that we get. So absolute 100% commitment and effort right to the end of the game. Absolute concentration from everyone on that back line. We've got 2 central defensive midfielders. Absolute concentration from them. You hold your line, you stay concentrated, and you keep Chester at bay today. A clean sheet here would be amazing.
Absolutely. Well, we'll go through the team news a little bit later on. There is a couple of changes, which I'll say we will run you through. And beforehand, as well, on the way over, we were getting in touch via the Twitter page at Guiseley Radio, asking for your thoughts and views and who you'd like to see start up front for this game. We'll go through some of those messages a little bit later. Not too late. You can let us know what you think of the coverage, what you think of the game, how you think things are going to go. Do get in touch with us. That's at Guiseley Radio. There'll be various tweets, I think, from us shared by the club as well. So, yeah, that's just at Guiseley Radio. Well, we'll go back to the aftermath and the post-match from Saturday's game now by hearing what the assistant manager and an unused substitute on Saturday, Danny Boshell, had to say. I'm joined by Danny Boshell after Guiseley's 2-0 home defeat against Gateshead. Danny, can you start for me by trying to sum up the performance and the result for me?
I think the performance overall wasn't bad, really. I think we're a lot better side first half. You know, we had a lot of pressure in terms of set piece and things like that. But it's very similar to the Aldershot game last week, that you've got, when you're on top, you've got to put your chances away, and they get one chance, one straight ball from defence, back to front. Lad gets in one-on-one. That's far too easy, and we've got to defend better than that.
How frustrating are we finding it to have so much play, so much possession, and get nothing from it?
Yeah, I think, like you say, we had a lot of ball today. Even second half, when even we've gone 2-0 down, we still had a lot of the ball. But it's easy to say we're having a lot of possession. We've got to make that sustained pressure. We've got to make it count, and we've got to score when we're on top, because it's a cliche, and we said it last Saturday, that goals change games, and it changed it today for Gateshead, because up until they go, I think they're on one side, innit?
Absolutely. In terms of the step up, is this showing perhaps in the sense that we've been dominating games before, but we've taken the chances, whereas now we're finding it that bit harder to even get the chances to break through?
Well, I think we're getting the chances. I think the thing is we're not converting the chances, and at the other end, the teams, and like you say, the step up. The difference is that when teams are getting chances, they're putting them away. So it's something we've got to look to work on. We've got to be better at, and like we said last week, we'll learn from it, and we'll learn again today.
Does it make it more frustrating that we're playing well and not winning?
Yeah, I think you'd be more concerned if you weren't playing well and you weren't creating chances. And say Gateshead had come here today and Aldershot last week and they'd played us off at Park and battered us, but that's not the case. It's fine margins, and it's, like you say, it's putting them chances away, and obviously defending right at the other end as well.
3 goals scored in the first 6 games kind of tells its own story to a degree.
Yeah, but like I've just said to you, not repeating myself, but I think you'd be more worried if you weren't creating the chances. But, I think you've got to look on positives and say, well, they're the side who were up there. They were up there last year and we more than matched them. And, we've got to, get round the lads again. And it's like we said, something's positive to take. We've got another game in 48 hours and we've got to pick ourselves up and go to Chester and try and win the game.
And what do you and Mark feel can be done to try and convert these into goals? Because as I say, chances coming, but we're just not finding the back of the net.
Yeah, I think 1 or 2 maybe. Sometimes it's just that you need a goal, and once you get that goal, you start firing there, and we can do as much work on finishing in training as we want. It's on a Saturday that counts. That's the difference, and the difference is at the moment is that teams, when they're getting their chances, are putting them away. In
terms of today's squad selection, a few changes that were surprising, I think, to say the least. Obviously, Drenchy on the bench, yourself and Adam Boy's not starting.
Well, we've got 2 games in 3 days, so things like that. You've got to look at that. You've got to look and freshen it up, and obviously, Mark, myself and Martin will sit down and we'll have a chat about what we're going to do Monday and where we go. We've had them watch, so we'll look at what they do and see from there.
As we say, Chester, a side where we've not had the happiest of times going to their place in recent years. It's going to be a tough game, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all tough in this league. You know, there's no getting away from that. We've got to go there and be confident and, like I said, take positives out of today, out of last week, and out of obviously the games we played before, and go and try and win the game, take the game to them.
Well, that was the assistant manager, and as I say, an unused substitute on Saturday, Danny Boshell, sharing his thoughts on the game. We'll go through the team news now. We are just a few minutes away from kickoff. We will get back to your tweets. We'll do them through the match. I know Dave has been keeping a close eye on the Guiseley Twitter stratosphere over the last few minutes. So we'll run through the two team lineups. We'll start with the home side with Chester. They line up as follows. John Worsnop, then Ryan Higgins, Johnny Hunt, Michael Kay, Ian Sharps, the captain, Ben Hennigan, John Rooney, Jordan Chappell, Craig Hobson, Kane Richards and George Thompson. On the bench for Chester, Dylan Forth, Dale Tong, Craig Marn, Tom Shaw and Tom Pears. For Guiseley, well, we said there was a couple of alterations. This is the lineup as follows. Steve Drench returns, then Ryan Toulson, Ben Parker, Danny Lowe, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Will Hatfield, Liam Dickinson, Nicky Boshell, Zach Thompson and Rob Atkinson. On the bench, Dan Atkinson, Adam Lockwood, Danny Boshell, Adam Boyce and Tom Craddock. So first things first, we'll start with your thoughts, Dave.
Well, it's a change in attitude, isn't it? Where we've tried to, what we were talking about, passing the ball around at the edge of the D, where Boyce and Craddock were tempting that, and I thought actually starting to strike up quite a good partnership. Today it seems like we're going for a more direct approach. We're going to use Liam Dickinson's physicality in the box, certainly ping balls at him. I wonder who's going to play through the middle there. I wonder if Nicky Boshell mightn't be given an opportunity through the middle, feeding off scraps from balls pinged at Liam Dickinson, or trying to get early balls into the box by Brooksby and Boshell and go that way. It suggests a more direct approach.
It certainly does. As we say, we've talked on the way over. We thought that this could be the kind of game where Liam Dickinson may be very useful, because we're going to need somebody physical up against the likes of Ian Sharps, for example, at centre-half, a vastly experienced centre-back. And it looks like Mark has gone with it. We're going to hear it from Liam Dickinson now. And I did ask him on Saturday about how frustrating he feels being on the bench all the time, basically. Chris Bell with Liam Dickinson after Guiseley's 2-0 defeat at home to Gateshead. Liam, can you start off for me by trying to sum up the performance and the result for me?
I think it was a good performance from the boys. I think we dominated the game. Large spells of the game, we had most possession, but at the end of the day they took their chances and we didn't.
Similar story to last week then, really?
Exactly, yeah. I think we probably had more chances this week than last week. A couple in the first half. I think Boise had just missed an header. He's through himself. It's just glanced past him. Maybe he could have done a little bit better for the second chance, but all over the park we've got to be better. We've got to be first to the second balls, and if we're not gonna compete like that, we need to have a look at ourselves.
3 goals scored in the first 6 games. It kind of tells its own story, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you say, it's crucial that we score goals. Last season we got away with it because there were lesser opposition. This league, they're more clinical. The strikers, as they've shown today, I think the guy. Then we got 2 chances and put them both away, and that's what we need to be like.
For you, 6th game in a running that you've come off the bench. How are you feeling fitness-wise, and how much are you banging Mark's door down to try and get yourself in the starting lineup?
Everyone wants to play. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating for me to just be getting 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. I played midweek in a behind closed doors game. Got 90 minutes under my belt. Fitness-wise, I feel great. So yeah, like I say, I've been banging on the gaffer's door to play, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating working hard, and you just got to wait for your chance. And hopefully today I've proven that I've put myself about a bit, and maybe I'll get a chance on Monday. But if not, I'll work hard in training until I get my chance. In the games so far this season, what's Mark been saying to you before you've been coming on? What's he said is your role sort of thing? He knows what kind of player I am. I put myself about and make it hard for defenders. I might not go on and score a hat trick, but I'll create chances like I think I did today. I'll win my headers. I'll be a threat up there. So he just says, go out and do your thing. So Monday, Chester away. What are you expecting from Chester, and what are you hoping for? Obviously,
in
I'm
that
hoping
game?
I'm hoping to be starting, like everyone else is. But as a team, I'm hoping that we go there and we perform like we did today, but we're more clinical. Chester are going to be a good team. We're going to be a well organised outfit. It's going to be a good stadium. I've played there quite a few times in the past. They'll be organised. So we just need to go there with our game plan, and if we stick to our game plan, I think we'll get a result.
With 2 home defeats, will it be nice to be away from Nethermore, or?
I don't know. I think it's the fans are great here. When we're getting beat, the fans aren't getting on our back. Because I think they always believe that we can come from behind, as we've proved that we have done before. But whether we're home or away, we need to be performing to the best of our ability.
How much harder is it to come from behind at this level?
A lot harder. It's a lot harder. That's why we've got to take our chances early doors. It is a lot harder to come from behind. But the quality and the players that we've got here, we're more than capable of doing that.
That's the thoughts there from Liam Dickinson, who, as we said, he was hoping for a start, and it looks like he's got it.
He's got one. After today, Liam Dickinson, Guiseley's top scorer with 4 goals. That's going to happen. I'm absolutely certain of it. He's got his chance. He's been busting for it. And obviously he did sound a bit frustrated there, coming on just for the last 10 minutes against Gateshead. He does offer us something a bit different, something a bit that boys in Craddock maybe don't, in terms of a physical presence and in terms of someone, to play a more direct approach. So, yeah. I'm all for Liam Dickinson, and I always have been.
Absolutely. You don't look quite so sure about that. Well, the 2 sets players are out in front of us. Guiseley in the all-yellow away kit, with Chester in their home kit of blue shirts, blue shorts and white socks. The referee and his assistants are in the centre. The referee for this game is Joseph Johnson. He'll be assisted by James Medine and Lee Doughty. 4th official of Malcolm Powell. As Mark Bauer and Danny Boshell take their places in the bench just in front of us. Dave, final thoughts on the game?
I think it's going to be a very tough competition. I think it's going to be very tightly fought. These are 2 good teams. I think Guiseley might benefit from a slightly wetter pitch, good passing, good concentration. I think we'll see us come away with a result today.
So you are supremely confident, to be honest.
4-1, no problem.
All from Liam Dickinson, yeah?
If I could just take a moment just to mention, you can tweet us at any point during the game. At Guiseley Radio is the Twitter handle. And I'd like to say a big hello to Laura Harrison, who says, "Good luck, Guiseley. We'll be listening to the commentary with my granddad. Hashtag, come on you Lions."
Very much so indeed. Come on you Lions. There is a cracking turnout here at the Lookers Vauxhall Stadium here in Chester. And it will be Guiseley to get us underway with the ball back with Ben Parker in left-back position. That's played long down the left-hand side, headed forward by Ryan Higgins. The ball goes out of play for a throw into the Lions, midway inside the Chester half. So a very good crowd. They're expecting, spoke to a couple of directors earlier at Chester, and they were hoping for around 2,400. You'd hope with a bank holiday and no Football League and Premier League that it may be slightly higher. As well as played into Liam Dickinson. His first touch is a good one as it plays down Danny Boshell. He just goes to ground the referee where he's play on. And now Chester come forward down this left-hand side. Through Kane Richards, it's returned to him. He's looking for the ball out to this left-hand side where he's found George Thompson, but the flag over on the far side goes up against the Chester man.
Yeah, it's a good start. Chester certainly seem to be setting out their stall to play a good passing game today. A little bit unlucky to have been caught offside there.
So, Steve Drench returning in goal after a game out through what was described by Mark Bauer as internal matters, but he is back in the lineup today. His ball looking to find Liam Dickinson. It's missed and headed away by Ian Sharps, the Chester captain. That should be a particularly interesting battle, I think, as Liam Dickinson is judged to have fouled Ian Sharps there by backing into him. So the free kick has been given to Chester.
I think that's pretty clear what Bauer sent him out to do, just to get the ball up to Dickinson and look for the second ball.
Well, this is the thing, because, Dickinson, as the ball is just headed through by Thompson all the way through to Steve Drench, Dickinson offers something different, doesn't he? Because, You've got Boys with a bit of pace, who's big, good in the air, but not the strongest. You've got Craddock, who isn't particularly tall, but he's got the creative bit of footwork. And then you've got Dickinson, who is the target man.
And straight away there from Steve Drench's clearance, Dickinson was being held as well. So Chester have clearly got the measure of him.
Yeah, as Chester coming out on that right-hand side with Higgins. Ball played out that far side. I think it's Jordan Chappell, who has won his side a throw-in. A couple of yards away from the edge of the 18-yard box over that far touchline. Throw-in taken. Comes back into the centre and finds John Rooney. That's the brother of Manchester United striker Wayne. Unlike Wayne, John has been in fairly decent form so far this season.
I think that puts him at about 20-25 million pounds.
In this current transfer market, it probably does. So we've got another throw-in for Chester. This one's going to be a much longer one in towards Craig Hobson. It's met by the head of Danny Lowe. And goes back to the goalkeeper, Steve Drench.
Guys, you're going to have to watch that. The ball into the box and Craig Hobson putting himself about. He's going to cause trouble today.
Yeah, well, it was the former Guiseley man, as we said before, that got the winner for Chester on Saturday in the 94th minute of their game at Macclesfield. A relatively local-ish derby. Now, the ball in the Guiseley half, but 3 yellow shirts around Thompson. Good recovering tackle from Rooney, though. Now Thompson looks to bring the ball forward. It's back to Ben Hennigan. Spread over to the right to Higgins, the right back. He couldn't find the through ball. And Guiseley, well, they had possession for a brief moment, but it's just been played out by Brooksby for a throw-in for the home side. And now Hunt gets the ball back from the throw. Up towards Hobson. Hobson gets his flick on, which rolls through into the Guiseley penalty area and through safely to Steve Drench.
Right idea from Chester there. If they want to break down the Guiseley defence, they're just pinging that ball up to Craig Hobson. Hobson looking for the knockdown to George Thompson. Just nodded it just a little too far, easy for Drench to collect.
Now Drench's goal kick goes straight out of play. Small crowd from Guiseley over on the stand opposite us, but to the far left-hand side. A few Yorkshire chants already. To expect them to be plenty of them in this game. Free kick goes in Guiseley's favour. A couple of yards further in the Chesterfield half from the centre circle.
Early goal of interest to next week's opponents, or against next week's opponents rather. Eastleigh taken an early lead against Torquay.
We will, of course, keep you up to date with all the scores and goals as they go in across the Vanarama National League. So we've got a free kick, which has got Zach Thompson and Nicky Boshell both stood over this. You'd favour Boshell to whip this in left-footed with the in-swinger. Instead, it's left to Thompson. Headed away by Chester, cleared completely at the second attempt, only out as far as Zach Thompson. He's just knocked that back to Will Hatfield, who's had to do a bit of running. Knocks it back to Drench. Clears it first time. Not quite to the halfway line, though, but a bit of poor control from Rooney allows Hatfield to pick up possession. Now finds Brooksby. Good turn. Does well to get away from Hunt. Still Brooksby. 3 blue shirts rounding. Goes down. Wins the free kick. Well, surely there would have been 2 free kicks potentially there as the number 15 of Kane Richards came sliding in on Ryan Toulson.
Brooksby did very well to hold off the couple of challenges. I think he was fouled. Referee was playing advantage until Toulson was clattered.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got a free kick. Again, this one 8 or 9 yards in from this touchline on this near side. On the right-hand side, plenty of yellow shirts. The blue Chester defenders making a line on the edge of the 18-yard box. And it will be Thompson yet again to swing this one in. Headed away. Now as far as Rooney, he plays it back into his own penalty area. It is cleared away. And Toulson gets it on the ball, puts it out for a throw.
Better ball in there from Zach Thompson, I thought. A good height, a good pace. Not really attacked with as much venom as you would hope by the Guiseley attackers there.
Yeah, it was a little bit simple, wasn't it, for the Chester defenders to deal with?
Very simple indeed.
So throwing now for Johnny Hunt for Chester. Midway inside the Chester half, stood in front of his home dugout. Ball comes back to Hunt via Rooney. He just nods it. Sorry, he sends it across to Ian Sharp, who nods it back to the goalkeeper. He's rolled that out to Michael Kay. Now Kay looking to get Kane Richards away down this left-hand side. Good work from Danny Lowe. But now the ball inside the Guiseley penalty area. Comes to Hobson and there to the box. Tries to get a shot in, blocked by Hatfield. Now the ball over on that far side with Jordan Chappell. It's been knocked back to Higgins. His cross was had to be dealt with by Rob Atkinson. And it is put out for a Chester throw.
Well, that all started from the ball over the top towards Kane Richards, which allowed over the head of the left back.
Cross comes in, it's a low one. Eludes Hobson. Thankfully, Nicky Boshell was alert to it. Cleared away. Thumping clearance, I think, that one. So it's all the way back with Higgins inside the Chester half. His ball forward, looking to find Hobson. Looking to utilise the target. And Hobson goes for goal. Good 20, 22 yards out there. Didn't have the pace or the power to really test Steve Drencher. Got his body behind that and holds on.
Well, that's similar to what he did against Macclesfield on Saturday. He took the ball down, turned, and got a shot away, and that's what he will do, and Guiseley have to be aware of it.
Meanwhile, the goal kick from Drench goes all the way through. Chester have been forced to put that out of play. A little bit of a mix-up at the back there. Throw-in taken quickly. Comes back now to Jake Lawler. Now the ball from Danny Lowe down the line. It's been intercepted, though, by Chester. Lowe does well. Good recovery, interception. Brooksby, a couple of neat little touches. Gets a little bit of fortune, but he'll take that. Plays the ball into the centre circle where he finds Zach Thompson. Now Toulson, just inside the Chester half, brings the ball forward. Good play into the feet of Liam Dickinson. Dickinson, great ball through to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby can't quite lift it over the goalkeeper. Excellent play from Liam Dickinson, though, to slide it through. Superb move. But now Chester come forward on the counter. The ball on the halfway line. Hennigan. Good defensive work from Will Hatfield, though. It's been given away cheaply. Now Johnny Hunt, the left back, midway inside the Guiseley half. Shouts for handball against Zach Thompson. Would have been harsh. Struck him on the arm. Went out for a throw. Throw-in has been given by the referee. So it will be Johnny Hunt to take this throw into the feet of Hobson. Back to Hunt. Two blue shirts inside the Guiseley box. Another two join. So it's now with Kane Richards on this left-hand side. Good challenge by Ryan Toulson on Richards. Puts it out for a throw. And it will be Johnny Hunt. Drives the ball on his shirt. I expect this one to be slightly longer instead. Finds Hobson. Nobody picked up his run there from a Guiseley perspective. Hobson and Hunt combining well. Just a little bit too much on that from Craig Hobson. And it's out for a Guiseley goal kick.
Well, it was well defended by Guiseley in the end. I think Toulson and Thompson kept a close eye on their respective men and didn't really let Chester get the ball in that they were looking for.
Focusing briefly on what we saw before, though, from Liam Dickinson.
Going back to the Brooksby chance, great opportunity and really sort of indicative of what Guiseley are trying to do with Liam Dickinson, of just get him in and allow Brooksby and Boshell to get around him and play off the second ball. And Brooksby was very unlucky not to be able to lift that over the keeper.
Well, Hatfield and Boshell, they were almost challenging themselves in the air. That's allowed the ball to drop nicely for Higgins. He brings it over the halfway line, plays it into John Chappell. Chappell's tackle, though, by Ben Parker. Now Brooksby. Now Hatfield. Still inside the Guiseley half. Goes back to Toulson. His first time ball looking for Boshell. Boshell will go up and challenge, but the offside flag goes up against the Guiseley number 19.
I think Chester are playing quite a high line by the looks of it. Boshell's just taken his eye off the ball a second and got himself caught offside.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way, and I suppose from their point of view, they'll be looking at Dickinson as the target man, not necessarily the quickest.
No, but what he can do, he's not too bad with his feet. He's quite skillful when he gets the opportunity in the space. What Chester are doing is pressuring.
It's a good little header flick on from Dickinson. It's been cut out though by Chester. Guiseley win possession back quickly. It's good work from the Lions. Now Thompson goes in field. Dickinson gets caught, goes down. Referee allows play on to continue. Plays the advantage. Hatfield just runs it into the box. In the end, gets crowded out. But a corner has been given to Guiseley. Ryan Toulson, I think, was desperately after the free kick, but I believe the corner's been given.
It was a foul on what looked like a foul on Dickinson on the edge of the box there. The referee played an advantage. Will Hatfield brought the ball into the box and was just shepherded out wide. It was well defended by Chester, but they've conceded a corner.
So an early chance for Lawler and Lowe to come up from the back. Of course, Lockwood will be useful in these situations, but he drops to the bench as the corner comes in from Boshell. Not the best of deliveries, easily dealt with by Chester. Comes out as far as Hatfield. His first time header back in, does not pick out a yellow shirt at all. That's been cleared away downfield by Chester.
That was a disappointing delivery by Boshell into the box there, and you've got the height of, you've got your Atkinson, you've got Dickinson there, you've got players in the box who will attack a ball, but it needs to beat the first man.
I think the other thing to be said with that though is equally as poor as that could have been, there was nobody making the movement up towards the front post.
I do worry that Guiseley are a little bit static in midfield at the moment. They're passing the ball around fairly well, but there's not a lot of movement in the midfield, and they're waiting for the ball to come to them.
And it's George Thompson now for Chester. Challenge comes in from Atkinson. Corner is the call from the referee. So from one Guiseley corner, they now have to defend another.
Well defended by Rob Atkinson there. He stayed strong. Stopped the cross from coming in at the expense of a corner, but Guiseley have to stay alert here.
Absolutely so. The corner will come in, right-footed, plenty of blue shirts, goes short to Richards, now Rooney. Once again, delivers the ball across. Plenty of shirts at the back post, but the referee, well, I think the flag's gone up for an offside. Well, anything, that's the flag up for the signal for an offside, but
difficult
from that
to tell.
situation, it's very hard to tell.
Crowd of players, it might have been, might not have been.
Pick a name.
Pick a name. I don't know. For what it's worth, it was a good ball into the box. It was a good 1-2 from the corner from Rooney, and it certainly gave Guiseley something to deal with, and were, Chester are perhaps a little bit unlucky there to get caught offside. Difficult to get caught offside from a corner, isn't it?
You'd think so, but apparently not. I'll just give you a quick run through of the lineups again for Chester. John Worsnop, Ryan Higgins, Johnny Hunt, Michael Kay, Ian Sharps, Ben Hennigan, John Rooney, John Chappell, Craig Hobson, Kane Richards and George Thompson. And for Guiseley, who've got Ben Parker in possession at the moment, goes back to Steve Drench. Steve Drench, Ryan Toulson, Ben Parker returns as captain, Danny Lowe, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Will Hatfield, Liam Dickinson, Nicky Boshell, Zach Thompson and Rob Atkinson. On the benches for the home side, Dylan Forth, Dale Tong, Craig Mann, Tom Shaw and Tom Pears. It was Pears who got the equalising goal on the 90th minute mark for Chester on Saturday. And then for Guiseley on the bench, Dan Atkinson, Adam Lockwood, Danny Boshell, Adam Boys and Tom Craddock.
That's quite a strong bench for Guiseley today. They've got options if they need to come on and they need to get goals. They've got Boys and Craddock. You put them three up front with Dickinson in the middle, and suddenly it's quite a different
it's
prospect,
a potentially very potent front three, isn't it?
Very potent, possibly.
Well, throw in for Guiseley, midway inside their own half. Goes down the line, looking to find Dickinson. Dickinson does well, holds off the man and plays the ball forward. He's just been intercepted though by a blue shirt. And now Michael Kay can look to switch it over to this left-hand side. Toulson stoops, does well, sensible defending, nods that back to his goalkeeper, Steve Drench.
Toulson nodded that back with a coolness I did not feel. Because he was running backwards and leaning forwards. It just looked horribly off balance, but he managed to get it back to Drench.
Yeah, Drench's ball forward is headed away by Sharps.
What I mean is I always had faith. Always. Never not have faith.
That's what you're looking for, yes. Throwing now for Guiseley. Hatfield plays the 1-2 with Parker. Now Hatfield over on the left-hand side, a couple of yards away from the touchline. Looks to play it down the line and give Boshell something to chase. In the end, he does well, but he's unfortunate to see the ball ricochet off him and out for a goal kick rather than the throw-in.
neither goalkeeper, aside from Brooksby through one-on-one with Warsnup and couldn't quite lift it over him, neither keeper really tested yet. Chester certainly haven't tested Drench.
This ball comes through now. Richards chases Toulson. Drench's first time clearance isn't the best, and he's gone out for a throw-in on that far side.
Commentator's curse.
Midway inside the Guiseley half. 3 blue shirts in the box. Hobson comes forward, gets the touch. Brings it over to Rooney. He goes back to Sharps. Across to Kay, his centre-back partner for the day. Now Richards. Toulson does well. Good sliding challenge, puts the ball out for another throw. This one on this near side. Johnny Hunt will take again, looking to find Hobson. Good touch from Hobson. Then he just gets away from him, follows through as Brooksby look to go forward. Hobson is going to be spoken to by the referee. Brooksby is down. He's going to get back up. Of course, the two will know each other quite well. Brooksby seemingly refusing the help of Hobson to get back up.
That is the sort of free kick that Wayne Brooksby will win, though. I mean, he's quite pacey. He just took a touch of the ball and went over the trailing leg of the defender. I don't think it looks as bad as Wayne's maybe playing for a little bit of time, and Hobson's risen to it. To be fair, he should know better.
You can certainly hear the home crowd's reaction as Craig Hobson has been booked, and I am absolutely staggered at that.
Well, I can only assume he must have said something, because all he did was offer Brooksby a hand, and Brooksby sort of wafted him away. There's certainly no physical altercation taking place, so he must have said something.
Oh, well, for me, the bookie, I think, is for the challenge, for bringing down Brooksby. But either way, very, very soft.
Challenge on the booking?
Not particularly, no. But that's the way the referee's seeing it. So either something was said, or the referee's going to be one of those moods this afternoon. Meanwhile, play back underway with Brooksby midway inside the Chester half. 1 or 2 boos. He's going to be the opposite of a fan's favourite, I think, for the afternoon.
Wayne Brooksby, yeah.
That's shocking. Anyway, the ball over on this right-hand side with Thompson. Back to Toulson. First time delivery. Dickinson's in. Gets the touchdown. Almost falls for Brooksby. I don't think you'll need to be told when he's on the ball. You'll be able to hear the crowd's reaction. Thompson looks to get the flick on beyond Hunt. It's cleared away by Michael Kay. Now low. Well, back with Toulson. Good touch and good turn there to get it away from Kane Richards. Not entirely sure how much he thought that through, though, from Toulson. Good ball from Thompson out to Brooksby. Brooksby's touch lets him down, and Michael Kay clears that out for a throw.
Absolutely brilliant touch by Ryan Toulson there to beat the onrushing Kane Richards.
Not sure
sort of
how much he planned that, though.
No, he meant it. He definitely meant it.
It will be.
Just sort of turned around and volleyed it past him and then ran around him. Excellent.
Will be the guys that are right back to take this throw into Liam Dickinson. A bit of a tussle with Michael Kay. The ball now comes through Brooksby down on the corner flag. Crosses in. All the way through. Boshell strikes it on the half volley. Hits the woodwork, but the flag goes up for offside.
Where to begin?
It's all of a sudden it's quite a good game of football, though, isn't it?
It is quite a good game of football. It's open. There's been chances at both ends. They're both creating opportunities. What I will say, going back to something you said earlier, if the referee is in that sort of mood to book strikers for wonky challenges, Liam Dickinson better watch out. Because bless him, but he has a tendency to leave his foot in sometimes. Yeah.
That could be a cause for concern. We shall see. Meanwhile, Chester on the attack, midway inside the Guiseley half. Good run from Jordan Chappell. Goes back to Higgins. His delivery is a poor one, and Lawler intercepts. Now with Nicky Boshell. He goes back to Ben Parker. Now Danny Lowe's ball forward is a poor one. It's been intercepted by Kane Richards. Richards goes down under a challenge of Jake Lawler. Lawler just kind of got in the way more than put a challenge in. Richards was certainly wasn't hesitating in going down, winning the free kick for the home side.
Yeah, Richards was away and Jake Lawler was a little bit late to the party, and Richards just has to go over, wins a free kick. There's no malice in it, but it's a well-won free kick.
So
here's Rooney.
John Rooney.
Oh, Rooney, 30 yards out.
Brother of Wayne.
Oh, brother. Oh,
It's got Johnny Hunt in a bit of space to his left-hand side. Looks like Steve Byrne, Chester maybe readying a sub. Free kick now from Rooney. Kills it brilliantly over the wall. Palmed down though by Steve Drench. Excellent free kick. Equally matched though by Steve Drench.
Yeah, it was a good free kick. It was on target. It was swerving in the air, but Steve Drench, it's just far enough so Steve Drench can see where it's coming from all the way. And just a fairly routine catch for the number one keeper.
We are going to see a substitution. Early doors. Craig Hobson is going off. The number 19. And Craig Mann is coming on.
Well now, did you see him get injured? I didn't see him get injured there. That's interesting.
But it's pushing George Thompson further forward. As we say, Mann will drop in the number 7. Hobson off. I didn't see any injury. I can't think of any logical reason for him to come off apart from the fact that he's been booked, but it's very early to make a call like that after just a booking.
Well,
However, that said, he can be, being that type of striker that he is, the physical type. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he picked up a number of yellow cards over the course of a season, put it that way. But as I say, you know, even this early in a game, it's a bit of an odd one to make changes, but that's what has happened. Steve Burr's made his decision.
It's a very abrupt change to your tactics there, isn't it? To take your striker off after only 25 minutes.
George Thompson, number 14, who's now leading the line for Chester, isn't that physical presence that Hobson was. Although with Mann in behind / getting alongside him. Very tricky customer, the number 7 for Chester. As John Wilsonop takes the free kick downfield. It was Liam Dickinson that was conceding the foul. The free kick hasn't worked out overly well. Hatfield goes down under the pressure of Hennigan. Referee waves play on. Now Rooney looks to spray a great ball out to that right-hand side. Excellent ball. Finds Higgins. Higgins, well, he brought it down superbly. His cross was woeful.
It was a lovely ball cross-field by John Rooney, and Ryan Higgins just mishit it completely.
Now Richards has the ball. Texter. It goes out of play off Ryan Toulson, but he knew nothing about it. Richards had flicked it infield, and it just hit Ryan Toulson's legs as he was facing the wrong way. It goes out for a throw. The throw-in has been taken, and it's half cleared away by Wayne Brooksby. Now Dickinson looks to keep it in play. Instead, keeps it in play and ends up playing it into the path of Michael Kay. Brooksby's there, though, knocks it out for a throw. Will be Johnny Hunt to take the throw. Now Mann. Challenge comes in from Will Hatfield. It is a late one, and he will go into the book. And it's a correct decision, I think, for me to book him, bearing in mind the booking that Hobson picked up.
I think it
was far worse than that.
Yeah, that's pretty much a no-brainer. Hatfield just dashed across the pitch there, just went down very early. Silly foul to give away, really. I mean, he's just had a rush of blood to the head, I think, there, Will Hatfield.
Yeah,
it's a deserved booking on Mann, but it's a welcome to the game kind of challenge.
It's certainly one of those, you know, on its own, it's a yellow card. It isn't a red. As we say, though, because of the booking that Hobson picked up, you question it. Anyway, free kick taken by Rooney, whipped in, good ball all the way through to Steve Drench, though.
Yeah, you do think if this is the way the game is going to go, the last thing Guiseley need to be doing is giving away daft yellow cards.
Wayne Brooksby was caught about 12 miles offside from Steve Drench's goal kick.
It was nearer 15. Near 15. I think that was a different postcode. I think it was Wales. I think Brooksby was in Wales. It was kicked from England.
Treading very carefully there, Dave. Anyway, free kick from the offside taken by Kay. He's played it across to Ian Sharps. Goes down and gets flicked on into George Thompson. He's taking a touch straight from Thompson out for a goal kick.
Well, we've got a quick break. Some scores here. Dover are 2-1 up against Boreham Wood. Eastleigh have doubled their advantage against Torquay. They now lead 2-0. Forest Green are drawing 1-1 at home to Bromley. Southport 2-0 up on Altrincham. They won't like that. Tranmere's response to losing 2 games on the bounce is to be 2-0 up against Kidderminster. After 28 minutes, all of the games currently 0-0.
Thank you very much, of course. Kidderminster, Steve Burr's former side. Side, of course, that we have played and beaten this season. Don't forget, Guiseley next in action on Saturday for, how do you describe it?
Well, it's a trip to the seaside, isn't it?
The ever so slightly lengthy trip to Torquay United.
It's probably not as far as you think.
620-mile round trip. Not that I've been counting or looking into this. Rob Atkinson with a poor touch. Goes back to Steve Drench under pressure from Thompson. Drench hoofs it away first time. Goes out for a throw. A little bit of overplaying it, though, at the back there from Guiseley.
Yeah, again, just that needed a boot through it and hoof it away. Atkinson tries to bring it down and plays himself into all manner of difficulties.
We talked a bit, haven't we? I think in these few games that overplaying it is something that Guiseley cannot afford to do. When it all goes wrong, chances are you will be punished. Was certainly the case against Aldershot for their second goal a fortnight ago. Wait, sorry, hang on. I've completely lost time. What, 9 days ago?
Just feels like a fortnight.
It just feels like
feels
a while.
much longer when you've been beaten.
So the ball went out of play. So we've got a goal kick for Steve Drench.
If you're interested, Chris, in the National League North, it's Harrogate 0, Bradford Park Avenue 0, and Chorley. Could have been us, of course, away at Stalybridge. They're also 0-0.
That's never going to get old, is it? I don't think over the course of the season. The Chorley, could have been us.
Telford are also rallying in the post-Kittrick era. They're winning 2-0 at home to Brackley.
So that brings you a couple of the scores from the Vanarama National League North. Now, Kay gets it downfield. Toulson heads it away. It's been thied out of play by Ben Hennigan.
Cy Wintle has tweeted us at Guiseley Radio. He tweeted us a little bit earlier with, we just need a goal, please. I think he tweeted it in that tone of voice as well. Thank you, Cy. You can tweet us. We are at Guiseley Radio. You can tweet us at any point. If it's good, we may even read it out on air. We may even do it if it's not good. Menston United. Colin's listening as well from Northumberland. He says, come on, you Lions. Hello, Col.
Now, Toulson with the throw, looking for Dickinson. Dickinson gets his head on it and flicks it away. Goes down, though, wins his side a free kick. It's what Dickinson's been put in to do. Now, Thompson. Once again, Boshell's going to come across to this. Although, for me, there isn't much point in having Nicky Boshell coming across to stand here and look pretty. He could be useful in the box, quite frankly, unless he is going to take this one. And he isn't yet again. Zach Thompson delivers it. Better ball towards the back post. Met by a Guiseley head. Brought away by Higgins. Now for Chester. Charging down the right-hand side. Brings it all the way over the halfway line. Challenge comes in. Goes out of play for a Chester City throw.
Good run from Higgins out of the box there to steal the ball from Lawler's knockdown. But here come Guiseley again.
Now Boshell should have played it into the feet of Dickinson. It does get to him eventually via a deflection. And now with Thompson across to Toulson. He'll go back to Rob Atkinson. Now Lowe, who's in at centre half, allowing Ben Parker to return at left back, and Adam Lockwood, the man that's dropped out of the side, to the bench. Free kick taken quickly by Higgins. Now Thompson. Good challenge though. Brooksby can't get it past Higgins. It's not been dealt with by either side. Neither side seemingly wanting to keep possession at the moment. Dickinson will give chase. The ball goes back to Warsnop. Now Hunt. As Boshell and Brooksby have changed flanks. So at the moment we've got Boshell down the right and Brooksby on the left. Now Craig Mann runs in field. Goes back to Sharps. Plays it into the feet of Thompson. Returns the ball to the centre half. Then looks to get a lofty ball over towards Kane Richards, who has a good touch. Finds Hennigan. Midway inside the Guiseley half in the central channel. Comes out to this left-hand side with Kay. Back to Rooney. And now Sharps. Guiseley doing well. Setting the lines out. Making it hard for Chester to break through at the moment. Now Richards. Once again, Chester having a lot of the ball, but struggling to get anywhere quickly. Although Mann has just got away from Jake Lawler, still inside the centre of the park. The ball to John Chappell was a tricky one, and Brooksby was on him quickly. Now Brooksby looks to come away down this left-hand side. He's got Ben Parker making the run with him. Good sliding challenge, though, from a Chester player. Gets the ball back to Hatfield.
A lot of possession, but struggling to break teams down. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
That's certainly been the story of the Lions' last couple of games at home. So the ball over this right-hand side, looking to find Toulson. It's not the greatest of balls, though. And it goes out of play for a Chester throw. What have we got on the clock? We've got 33, give or take, minutes gone. Throw in now for Chester. 33 almost on the clock. Johnny Hunt's just completely made a mess of that. In fact, I think it struck his hand, but it's gone and been given as a throw. It goes into Brooksby. Accidentally lets it run through his legs, but Guiseley do retain possession until a horrendous touch from Zach Thompson. The ball rolls over the top of his foot. No control whatsoever. Out for another throw.
It was raining. It was drizzling for quite a while just before kick-off, probably for about half an hour. That's probably put quite a bit of moisture on the top of the pitch. So you are seeing players who are just losing their first touch, just letting the ball roll over their foot a little bit, just misjudging the flight of the ball. It's happening a lot.
Well, the throw-in that was taken by Hunt, I think, was that a foul throw? I'm not entirely sure, but either way, guys have been given the throw. They've taken it quickly. 1-2 between Lawler and Hatfield. Plays ball forward to Wayne Brooksby, caught in an offside position.
Not quite sure how Brooksby gets caught offside at that position there.
It's a bit of an odd one, isn't it? Because he was only,
from the throw-in and then 2 touches and he's offside.
Yeah, Chester certainly keeping the shape at the back, pushing forward. Now the ball with Kay in a left-back position. Ball forward, looking to find Richards. Instead it eludes both Hennigan and Richards and goes out for a throw. Ryan Toulson will be the man to take. Just gets the ball back from a ball boy. Just rubs the ball on his shirt, dries it off. Looks to go long down the line. Liam Dickinson, of course, the target for this one. Ben Hennigan does well, though. Beats him in the air. Lawler slides in, gets a good foot on it, gets it high into the air. Dickinson. He grabs the ball in his hand for a throw. Toulson will be the man to take, although Dickinson's just completely missed him by trying to throw the ball at him. To him, sorry, not at him. Now Toulson finds Lawler. First time ball forward, looking to find Brooksby. It's been beaten in the air by Michael Kay. Good sliding challenge from Zach Thompson. Foot was certainly left in from Rooney on him. It's been given away. Well, it's been given away by Chester as quickly as say that. They've picked it back up again as Craig Thompson runs down the line, shoulder to shoulder with Rob Atkinson. Atkinson does well. He uses his size and strength. It means the ball rolls out for a throw-in for Guiseley. It's been taken, goes all the way across to Danny Lowe. Ball forward, Dickinson brings it down, good touch, plays it to Brooksby. Down by this touchline, struggling to get around Johnny Hunt though. And Hunt does well, gets it back to Kay. And now back to the goalkeeper, Worsnop. A little bit of the pace that we had seen in this game. It's been quite end-to-end, quite a good pace. Has dropped off the last minute or two. Meanwhile, Richards is harrying down Toulson. In the end, it's a clear foul on Ryan Toulson. A little bit overzealous from Kane Richards. It's not a booking or anything like that, or it shouldn't be, and it isn't. But he was just a little bit impatient.
It's not a booking. He's not giving it as a booking. But Kane Richards does raise his hands there to try and put Ryan Toulson off.
Well, Steve Drench is going to take this free kick, and as you can possibly tell by the crowd, they're not entirely happy with where he's taking it from. I think he's stolen just a yard or two. Barely anything. Now Drench gets it forward again, looking for Dickinson. He's done his job relatively well so far, I think, as Liam Dickinson has been that target.
Yeah, he's done very little. He's done very little wrong.
Ryan Toulson goes in late there on Kane Richards. And again, we think back to the couple of bookings we've had in this game so far. Richards and Toulson, that's been a hell of a battle in this game so far. The referee's going to get the yellow card out for Ryan Toulson on this occasion. I think he's trying to explain a couple of other incidences. For me, there isn't anything else. It's just that they can be going off here. And Ryan Toulson has also gone into the referee's notebook. So, what's that? 3 yellow cards in total, although the Chester yellow card one they've had has gone off.
So that's Hatfield and Toulson on yellows.
Correct.
And they've been the ones making the most tackles so far.
Well, the free kick's been taken. It was Rooney who's played it across to Higgins. Higgins must have been, well, he was close to the centre circle, then to the edge of the penalty area by a good 15 or 20 yards. He's gone for goal. And unsurprisingly, it's long gone out of the stadium. Surprised we didn't take out the clock on the top of the stand on the way past.
It was a punt.
That one, it's heading north, is that one.
Big hello to Benny 2Ts. He says, finally, a decent standard of Robertson commentating on Guiseley Radio.
Have you got a fan club?
I'm saying nothing.
Have you got a fan club? Do, of course, get in touch with us on Twitter. Let us know your thoughts and views on the game, on Guiseley's season so far, and how you think this game's going to go. Or, if you really must, on the standard of commentating, be kind. Just get in touch with us at Guiseley Radio.
Asking the internet to be kind. That's always worked before. Stuart Farnworth sat listening to the game in Bolton. He says it sounds a good game so far. You're not too wrong, Stuart. It's a very entertaining spectacle so far.
No, we did put out asking for score predictions and stuff earlier. Adam Bridson, of course, there's no point in really reading this. He'll be here in the ground, but he said he'd be happy with a point, but was hoping for a 2-1 Guiseley win. Jake Claw with a good bit of skill there. Richards diving in slightly. Toulson plays the ball forward. Now Hennigan on the edge of his own 18-yard box does well. Turns away from Hatfield. Now Toulson picks up the ball from a loose Rooney pass. Now Dickinson over on this right-hand side. He's the one that you want in the box rather than trying to get it in. He's left the foot in there on Kane Richards. Richards has gone down. And again, the book is going to be shown.
What did I say?
Is going to come out. And it will be Liam Dickinson, will be the third Guiseley player to go into the book. From the very minute Craig Hobson was booked earlier on, you just felt that this was going to be one of those games where anything that is a...
It wasn't dirty, it was
bad.
clumsy. It was a clumsy challenge. The bookings that have come have been clumsy challenges.
I mean, right from the Hobson one, if you're booking people for clumsy things, then we'll be down to 3 men apiece at the end of this match.
Well, I think that's tremendously harsh. In the same way that the Craig Hobson booking was tremendously harsh. I think I cannot fathom how Liam Dickinson's been booked for that. For his first one as well.
Yeah, he's in terms of fouls, he's not giving anything away.
And he's been marked very closely.
He's not giving anything away particularly. Well, as we say, the first booking for Liam Dickinson on his first start. Meanwhile, the free kick hasn't come too much for Chester, and now Toulson can just put his foot through that and get it away. Dickinson, he's going to have to be very careful, though, because of his game, the physical aspect of his game. But at the same time, he has been excellent so far. Free kick good.
Yeah, he's played well, but yes, you're right. He can be, at times, all arms and legs, and that does
could
pick
be
up
a
bookings.
risk. Yeah.
And right now, it is a risk.
Yeah, because this referee, he doesn't like arms and legs.
Well, I think the Hatfield one was a no-brainer. That was blatantly a booking, but I think the other two are negotiable.
Yeah, and the Hobson booking, as we said, that's the daftest of the lot, but he's since gone off the ball now. Breaks for Hatfield on the edge of the penalty area. He goes down. Nothing given. Shot comes in from Boshell, and it's landed on the roof of the net. Hatfield was screaming for the penalty, as were a couple of other guys who played as the ball broke. To Nicky Boshell, he struck it first time, takes the deflection up into the air. The keeper was probably beaten if it had dropped inside just before the crossbar. Instead, it drops after it, lands on top of the goal. A great moment, a great opportunity for Guiseley there, but now they have got a corner. Comes in, right-footed by Thompson. Lowe was in there. Worsnop comes out, goes through. Lowe looks up as if to say, what, you're not giving me anything for that? He hasn't done so. Now, Thompson. Ball goes out of play off Thompson for a throw-in, and breathe.
Oh, my goodness. That was close. That was close. I mean, the ball bounced up off the keeper, what looked like bounced off the keeper, and it did look for a minute like it was going to drop under the bar, but it hung in the air for about 3,000 years, just waiting to drop onto the roof of the net. Hatfield had a
The long ball forward now. Kane Richards almost gets ahead of Steve Drench, but he's taken the safety first approach and just punted that out of play.
So I say Hatfield having a long discussion with the referee after that incident about why he thought he should have had a penalty. Hatfield, who is on a yellow card.
I have to say that I'm slightly surprised almost that because of the fouls and the bookings that have been given, that he didn't have more of a case actually with the referee. So the ball is cleared out of play and just bounces on top of the stand here. That's the main stand here at Chester, which is fair to say is a fair bit higher up than the stand in Nethermore. Now throw in for Guiseley. Toulson will take. Again, looking for Dickinson. Does well, gets his head on it. Brooksby will look to chase off it. Kay's there to clear it away for Chester. Now Thompson. Good sliding challenge from Zach Thompson. Hatfield does well. Shoulder to shoulder with John Rooney. And Rooney goes for it. Mark Bauer incensed by that. And the referee is going to come and have a word perhaps with Rooney. Can't see this one being a booking. Optimistic chance from the Guiseley crowd. Guiseley following of off. It's not going to happen. It'll be a free kick. Not going to get booked. But I think Rooney will be warned. And Mark Bauer is absolutely incensed.
Now,
and you can see why.
You can see why. Because what that ref did there was he said, you did one there, you did one there. Down at the far end, you did one there. That's your second. One more in your book. Now, why couldn't he have done one Liam Dickinson?
Exactly. You know, you see Liam Dickinson going in the book for something of equal.
Mark's not a man prone to outbursts, but he's right to be cross about that.
Absolutely. Well, Sharps hoops that one out of the ground. Oh no, it's bounced back in. A throw in though it will be. Midway inside the Chester half. What have we got on the clock? We've got about 44 by my reckoning. Not long to go now. Throwing taken shot. Comes back too low. He delivers it first time. A high one. Bounces across the penalty area. Brooksby does well. Gets there ahead of Johnny Hunt. Turns away from Richards. Now Thompson delivers it first time. Dickinson caught offside. His touch was poor anyway, and it would have been dealt with easily. But we have now got 44 minutes on the clock. You must be looking at 1-2 minutes at most of added time at the end of this first half.
Don't know. A couple of free kicks. I think we might see 3.
Ball played forward
And
by
a sub.
Michael Kay. Headed away by Parker to Boshell. Boshell's touch lets him down. Just goes out of play off the Guiseley man for a throw. Low with the edge of the centre circle. Taken. Comes in play. Now Rooney. Back out to Higgins. Inside to Rooney. Looking to get the diagonal ball over to Kane Richards. Great ball. Excellent touch as well from Kane Richards. Battling with Brooksby. Richards does well. Comes away. Good work though from Zach Thompson. Now Brooksby up against Ben Hennigan. Comes out of play for a throw. The linesman gives it in Chester's favour. And this is an unusually animated Mark Bauer that we're seeing because he's livid with some of these calls.
I think it'll be interesting to speak to him after the game.
Yeah, very much so. 2 minutes is the call for the added time, which we'll just about be ticking into. Now Brooksby. Now Hatfield. Atkinson just needs to get his foot through, get rid. Isn't cleared well though. Sharps is there. Ball comes down to Thompson. Now Mann. Now Richards still just outside the 18-yard box on this left-hand side. Looks to deliver it to the edge of the 18-yard box. Good play from Chester. Now Thompson back to Richards again. Now Mann delivers it right-footed towards the back post. It's come down, been brought down by Chappell. Cross comes in, half punched away by Drench. Eventually Toulson scrambles that away, but the pressure's still on. Toulson does well, gets up there ahead of Kane Richards. Richards has gone down.
Toulson had eye on the ball there all the way,
absolutely.
and I think the referee's seen that.
Yep, the throw-in it's been given. Superb header from Ryan Toulson. Now Sharps.
All 11 men in the Guiseley in their own half here.
Yeah, it's been that way for a minute. So fizzing shot comes in from Ryan Higgins. It's dealt with though comfortably by Steve Drench.
Mark Bauer there just motioning to Steve Drench just to keep it calm, just to slow it down. Let's just see this out. Let's go in at goalless at half time.
Well, you may as well at this stage. As the ball goes forward, Richards inside the Chester half, knocks it back to Hunt. He goes long downfield. And we will bring you all the half-time scores and the latest scores from the Vanarama National League at the conclusion of this first half. And we'll be back with you around 10 minutes or so afterwards to bring you full second half coverage. And there we go. The referee blows the half-time whistle. Goalless at the break. But it's been a good game of football, it has to be said, between these two sides. It's been a strong physical game of football, but for that the referee has possibly made himself the star of the show more than anybody else in a blue or yellow shirt, because he's dished out 4 bookings, 3 for Guiseley, 1 for Craig Hobson. That was the daftest of the lot. Hobson for Chester has since been substituted. So the story here, 4 bookings, few shots, good entertainment and good battling, but goalless at the break.
I think very, very evenly matched so far. Guiseley have probably had the 2 slightly better chances. John Rooney had a free kick that Stephen Drench was fairly easy to save, and then a shot from distance along the ground that was fairly easy to collect for Steve Drench. Ben Parker there, the captain, walking off with the referee there, perhaps having a little discussion, perhaps particularly about that Dickinson booking, which was...
For me, Ben Parker's probably saying, if you're going to give players bookings as easily as this, then we're going to be finishing with 8 men apiece come the end of the game.
Well, I mean, he does need... There just needs to be a little more consistency about it, to be honest with you, because there's been a few chances...
I think he's been relatively consistent. He just needs to be more sensible. Basic, for me, he's given some soft yellows, full stop, with the exception of Will Hatfield's.
Yeah, obviously Will Hatfield's was a he came across the pitch and just hacked the other fella to the ground, and it was an absolutely clear free kick and a clear yellow card, no problem there. There's other games, of course, going a full programme in the National League this afternoon. Braintree lead Aldershot by 1-0. Chester 0, Guiseley 0 here, of course. Dover lead Boreham Wood by 2-1. Eastleigh 2-0 up against Torquay, who are Guiseley's opponents next Saturday for that short hop to the other end of the country for that game. You enjoy your weekenders. Forest Green lead Bromley by 2-1. Gateshead are 1 up against Lincoln. Grimsby are 1-0 down away at home to Macclesfield, who, of course, Chester beat in the 94th minute on Saturday. Halifax 0, Barrow 0, Southport 2, Altrincham 0. Tranmere are 2-0 up against Kidderminster, and Woking, who visit Nethermore next, are at 0-0 against Welling. A bit later on, a 5:30 kickoff live on BT Sport, Cheltenham against Wrexham.
Thank you very much, Dave. So that brings you up to date with all the games in the Vanarama National League. We'll be back with you very, very shortly for full second half coverage, but myself and Dave will see you shortly. Welcome back to Chester here at the Lookers Vauxhall Stadium, or as I better know it, the Diva Stadium, where at half-time, as the two sets of players and the officials come back out, the scoreline is as follows: Chester 0, Guiseley 0. In terms of yellow cards, it's Chester 1, but they've subbed him off, Guiseley 3. And we were speaking to our colleagues from Chester's radio coverage team, and they've informed us that prior to today's game, this is the referee's second game this season. In his one and only game, he's shown 4 yellow cards and 2 reds. And you really can't help but feel that might be the way this game could go as well, having shown 4 yellows already. So we are back underway. Chester getting us back underway. Guiseley in the all-yellow away kick, kicking from right to left. Chester in the blue shirts with white sleeves, blue shorts and white socks. Dave Kendra alongside myself, Chris Bell. And the ball currently back with Steve Drench. He clears it first time. But Dave, we were saying at half-time, and having now found out the stat about the referee, odds on a red card, mate.
There is a sense of inevitability up here in this press box that we might well see a red today, and we do have great concern for Liam Dickinson. Not because we think he'll lose his temper or he'll do anything stupid particularly, but when he tires, he can be all arms and legs, and at the best of times he can go in with his arms up. And you know, if the ref gives out hands out cards that easily, he could find himself in trouble fairly quick.
Yeah, of course, he's already on one booking. Meanwhile, Guiseley have a throw looking for Toulson. Sorry, Toulson take it looking for Dickinson, but it's been cleared away by Chester, and then Jake Lawler he went to play the easy ball out to Toulson. He's got it all wrong and put that out for a throw. Quickly run you through with 2 team lineups, but go on, Dave.
Just a bit of a lack of concentration there from Jake. It came to him not at great pace, and he should have found his man.
Absolutely. Well, Chester looking to come forward through George Thompson at the moment. Now with Kane Richards. Back to Rooney. That's the brother of Wayne. That is John. Now good ball through for Thompson. Thompson gets the ball across. Jordan Chappell's there. Simple in the end, but a very dangerous move from Chester as they came forward with a good bit of pace.
And the inquest begins in the Guiseley defence there. Toulson and Lowe having a conversation about who should have spotted that coming, but the Chester striker didn't make the connection on it that he'd hoped, and it sort of rolled into Stephen Drench's arms. Guiseley have got away with one there.
Absolutely. Well, running through 2 team lineups, starting with Chester. Then as follows: John Worsnop in goal, then Ryan Higgins, Johnny Hunt, Michael Kay, Ian Sharps the captain, Ben Hennigan, John Rooney, Jordan Chappell, Craig Hobson, Kane Richards and George Thompson. On the bench, still on 4th, Dale Tom, Craig Mann, Tom Short and Tom Pears. One change already made by the home side, and that was Craig Hobson going off and being replaced by Craig Mann. Free kick for Guiseley.
Yeah, foul on Nicky Boshell, Chester defender there just holding him back. Referee's gone over to have a word. But it's in a dangerous position, this. This is perfect positioning for Nicky Boshell, who's currently receiving instructions from the bench, from his brother.
Do you reckon he's
Probably
had that
along the
all his
lines
life, being bossed around by his brother?
One Boss Boshell. Danny Boshell.
So, we've got Nicky Boshell and Zach Thompson again, stood over this one. So far, this routine has happened 3 times, and on every occasion, there's been no point in Nicky Boshell standing there, as Zach Thompson has delivered on all the occasions. This one, perhaps more likely to be Nicky. And this time, Thompson runs over it, comes through him, the header comes in. It's Rob Atkinson that was making the run with the header. Superb header, tipped over the top of the crossbar by John Worsnop.
That's better, that's much, much better. Guiseley attacked that with real purpose about that. It was a good ball in, played at pace, at the right height. Atkinson got his head on it, and Worsnop just touched it over the bar so much so I've lost my teeth.
Now the corner comes in, up towards back post. Oh, it was stabbed across by Jake Lawler. It came to his feet, and he stabbed it across goal. Couldn't go anywhere, really, as it is just wide of the this near left-hand upright.
Played across from the near side, played at a good height again. Jake Lawler just stretching to get a touch on it, went back across the goal, and from where we're standing, went agonisingly close to the keeper's far post.
Absolutely. So the Guiseley lineup is as follows: Steve Drench, Ryan Toulson, Ben Parker, Danny Lowe, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Will Hatfield, Liam Dickinson, Nicky Boshell, Zach Thompson and Rob Atkinson. Players on bookings already. Ryan Toulson at right back, Will Hatfield in the centre of midfield. And the striker for today, Liam Dickinson's first start. And it's he there who's just been caught offside.
Now every challenge Liam Dickinson makes, he holds his hands up like, what? Nothing happening here, ref.
Even when he's offside.
Nothing happening.
He cannot afford to get himself either foolishly sent off, and he needs to get all of his challenges spot on. And let's be fair, strikers aren't renowned for their tackling ability. And Liam Dickinson, the physical striker, certainly falls into that category as a low ball comes in from John Chappell straight into the hands of Steve Drench. On the bench for the two sides, for Guiseley, we've already covered Chester, Dan Atkinson, Adam Lockwood, Danny Boshell, Adam Boyce and Tom Craddock. So it's fair to say, should Mark Bauer feel that it's necessary to almost protect Liam Dickinson, there are striking options on the bench. Of course, Adam Boyce, 24 goals last season. Somebody that the Chester manager, Steve Burr, has managed before. And Boyce had a short spell at Kidderminster when he was on loan from his first club, Scunthorpe. Some good play from Chester now as Higgins looks to come forward. Brings it over the halfway line. Seems to bounce up and possibly struck the arm of Danny Lowe, but you can't really give it when his arms were down by his side. And as I say, it just bounces up off a touch of a Chester man, I think, and just hits him on the arm.
Well, of course.
You can't give anything for that, can you?
Well, of course. But the Chester fans are, of course, obliged to shout loudly and claim loudly for it, but it came at Lowe very quickly. I'm getting a look from our colleagues on Chester Radio like, what are you talking about? But no, it came in very quickly. He's very unlucky. It would be unlucky to be given.
Absolutely. Throwing now for Ben Parker. That's just found the chest of John Chappell, but it goes out for another throw. It's all part of the camaraderie of these away trips, isn't it? Try not to upset the home media too much. Now the ball with Ian Sharp's roll back to the goalkeeper, John Worsnop.
I'm not going to not stick up for Danny Hall there. Danny Hall?
We're going to say that's Danny Lowe, mate.
Danny Lowe. I'm not going to not stick up for Danny Lowe. That was not a handball. It was ball to hand. He says.
Now Drench rolls the ball to Atkinson. His ball forward is met by the head of Wayne Brooksby. He tries to nod it out to the right-hand side where Ryan Toulson had pushed up, but instead it's been intercepted. And the ball is now back at the feet of John Worsnop. Just brings it just outside his 18-yard box before looking to get it back over to the left-hand side from Chester's perspective as they look to come forward now. Michael Kay delivers a diagonal ball. Ben Parker, the captain, club captain of course, but this is his first start of the season. Stephen Drench actually takes some time on making a clearance there, which is unusual for him. It's the one thing that Steve Drench has such confidence in himself, but he always puts the fear of all sorts into me, is when the ball's played back to him and he just doesn't take a touch and he just smashes it first time and hopes.
Well, it's worrying whenever keepers, when the ball comes to keepers' feet and you're expecting them to kick. It's not generally what they're best at. It always makes me a little bit nervous as well. You're by no means alone there, Chris.
I think his plan distribution is excellent. It's when it's the ball played back to him, the offside flag goes up against Nicky Boshell over on that right-hand side. Following a good bit of passing play between him and Wayne Brooksby. I'll say that flag on the far side is up.
Okay, everyone, we have the attendance for you this afternoon, which is 2,304.
2,304. Well, we spoke to a director before the game, and he said he was be looking for somewhere between 2,300 and 2,400. So he's got his wish.
Yep, he'll be certainly pleased to say it is a good turnout here at I'm going to call it the Diva Stadium.
The Lookers Vauxhall Stadium.
That's the sponsor's name.
Lookers, Vauxhall, Lookers, it's Vauxhall. What's the kind of sponsored thing that they're going for? Lookers, Vauxhall. I don't know. Call it the Diva.
Thank you.
Call it the home of Chester FC.
There we go. Yeah, that'll do. So Guiseley shooting from right to left into the empty seated stand to our left-hand side. The Harry McNally Terrace to our right. Full with Chester fans. There was a small cluster of maybe 50 or so, maybe a couple less Guiseley fans that have made the trip across. There in the stand opposite to our left-hand side. Meanwhile, possession is just being exchanged between the two sides with no real product or end product, as Rooney is forced to play that back to Michael Kay. Takes a touch off Will Hatfield and goes out for a throw.
Well, it started very brightly, didn't it? First couple of minutes of that first half, and both Chester and Guiseley just seemingly going for it, and then the sting's gone out of it a little bit.
Yeah,
but here we go.
First couple of minutes, or the last couple of minutes, sorry, the second half are a bit lacking as Steve Drench has to come well out of his area to make a clearance ahead of George Thompson. Ball back with Worsnop, clears it first time, flicked on by Rooney. Hatfield involved in there, does well, finds Thompson. Thompson plays it out to Brooksby over on that right-hand side. Still Chester 0, Guiseley 0, but now with Brooksby on the edge of the 18-yard box, just gets caught out. And possession is regained by the home side. Although a touch there isn't a great one from Johnny Hunt. His touch is taken out of play for a throw. Level with the edge of the D on the edge of the 18-yard box. A chance for Ryan Toulson to launch this one in. Perhaps he drives the ball, leans back over the white wall. Comes up, gets a good run, good ball, good flick in from Brooksby, looking towards Boshell. It found its initial target from of Liam Dickinson, but it has been dealt with and cleared out for a Chester throw.
Yeah, a little bit clumsy that. As the throw came in, Dickinson was always leading backwards into his man, as strikers often do, and managed to get it across. And it sort of landed invitingly across the 6-yard box, but there's no one in a yellow shirt there to bury it.
Don't forget, get in touch with us on Twitter at Guiseley Radio. Let us know your thoughts and views on the match. We'll be sure to try and read some out over the course of this second half as Kane Richards breaks down at left-hand side. Superb sliding challenge from Jake Lawler. Puts it out for a throw.
And on that, Stuart Farnworth has tweeted us again. He's listening in Bolton. He says the way it sounds with the ref, be lucky if one of the sides will lose a man. Dicko needs someone working with him.
Well, Chappell now goes for goal, high and wide, over the top of Steve Drench's goal. But it's a shot. And frankly, as decent and as frankly quite good as this game has been, competitive, good battle, we haven't really seen too many shots.
Clear-cut opportunities have definitely been at a premium. I think Atkinson's header's probably out there. That's probably the clearest cut opportunity that there's been all game.
Well, Tom Craddock has just been out and doing a bit of a warm-up. He's receiving some instructions from Mark Bauer. As Adam Boyes and Danny Boshell also now go out to have a bit of a jog. Meanwhile, play inside the Chester half with Will Hatfield now for Guiseley. Now Thompson. He's got Parker coming forward on his left-hand side. Instead, finds Hatfield in the centre. Good link-up play. Back to Hatfield. Good challenge comes in from Ian Sharps, the experienced centre half. Many appearances in the Football League. And now Chester look to come forward through Higgins. Midway inside the Guiseley half. Good play from George Thompson. Cracking run. Across now to Rooney. John Rooney goes to goal. Is blocked by Rob Atkinson's legs. And now Wayne Brooksby looks to break away and come forward, but he's just taken that final touch a bit heavy. That allows Sharps to get there, but his ball over to the left-hand side has been cut out. Now Toulson brings it over the halfway line. Inside to Boshell. Thompson should be supporting, but he isn't. Instead, the ball goes out to Toulson on the right-hand side. Dickinson's in there. He was under pressure from Ian Sharps, and John Worsnop, the keeper, does well there to come out and claim it. Tom Craddock stripped down, ready to come on now. It will be Craddock coming on. You have to see who's going to make this. You expect when the ball goes out next, it will do, but that's a great ball out to the right-hand side. Liam Dickinson throws himself at it, just couldn't get enough of anything onto it, and it rolls across the 18-yard box. Now Higgins. Parker does well, wins it in the air. Now finds Zach Thompson under a bit of pressure, finds Hatfield. Hatfield across to Brooksby. Brooksby's going to go for goal. Skids it along the turf, but comfortable for worse not to deal with.
Couple of examples there of what Guiseley should be doing a bit more of, getting the ball into the box quickly at the right height, early doors for Liam Dickinson to run onto and throw himself at.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was Liam Dickinson. Of course, he's got that booking to his name so far. He played 90 minutes in a behind closed doors friendly last Tuesday against Park Avenue. Came off the bench on Saturdays. A cross comes in from, I think it's Craig Mann. That goes all the way through to Steve Drench. It certainly does seem that it will be.
It does look like 16 on the board. So, although they've been waiting a long time to make this sub.
Yeah, I think Tom Craddock would have gone cold again, given the warm-up that he had a few minutes ago now. He's just not gone out to play for Guiseley yet. Now Rob Atkinson does well, wins possession back. Now Thompson, that's a poor one though. Miscontrols it. The pass was way up into the air and not dealt with. Now the ball finally does go out of play, and it is Liam Dickinson. Liam Dickinson gets a good round of applause from the travelling Guiseley supporters over on that far side. Dickinson jogs off. Of course, his first start of the season. He's putting in a good shift, picks up that booking. That may have been more of an incentive to bring him off to Mark Bauer, but Tom Craddock is on, a man that's, well, frankly, how he hasn't scored yet in his Guiseley career, I don't know. He's hit the woodwork twice, once at Welling, once against Kidderminster. Also had a goal disallowed against Kidderminster.
Well, he's done everything but, hasn't he? Hit both posts, the bar. Been cleared off the line by a dog. I mean, there's just everything that could have happened except going in the back of the net.
So, Craddock is on. Meanwhile, Chester looking to come forward. 15 yards inside the Guiseley half, now with Marn. Challenge comes in from Nicky Boshell. Isn't a great one. Marn just gets back up, though. Collects possession again. Now the ball spreads to Hunt on that left-hand side. Now Kane Richards. He's been threatening throughout this match. Richards takes the deflection. Over the top and behind, and out for a corner for Chester.
And just perhaps for the first time today, Kane Richards got the better of Ryan Toulson there. Just completely sold him a dummy, cut inside and put the ball across. It was deflected. Guiseley, they've got away with a couple.
Absolutely. So, corner ball, plenty of blue shirts in the box. The likes of Hennigan. Ball does come in, it's up towards, it's almost gone goal bound. Shouts of handball, it looks like, and the referee has given a penalty to Chester. Well, it was very difficult to see it from where we are, but the referee has given a penalty to the home side. It seemed to be shouts of handball. The referee is having a word with the assistant of his near side. Ben Parker is over in conversation with him. I'll say the referee having a word with his assistant on his near side. There's 3 or 4 yellow shirts around him. It seems to be Ben Parker who's the last man to be having a word with him. Doesn't look like there's going to be anything more to it than that.
It's a...
So
I don't know what to tell you. It's apologies for dead air, but
it is a bit like that, isn't it? Because
it was so scrappy in there and it bounced about so much. And Guiseley took 3 goes to try and clear it. I mean, my best bet would be it looks like a handball somewhere along the line that's been given.
Well,
but
Mark Barrett in a strong conversation with the 4th official on his near side. It's going to be John Rooney, the number 10, the brother of Wayne, to step up to take this penalty. Steve Drench.
He's a good shot stopper, Steve Drench. He's a good shot stopper, and he's saved penalties before. Come on, Steve.
So, John Rooney against Steve Drench. Chester with the chance to go a goal up in this game. The referee is making this last a long time, making sure no Guiseley players are in the box. John Rooney steps up, right-footed, puts it beyond Steve Drench. and Chester have got themselves into the lead. A scrappy situation in the box for what we can only presume is a handball shout that's been given against Guiseley, and John Rooney stepped up confidently and slotted the ball past Steve Drench. We've got 60 minutes on the clock, and it's Chester 1, Guiseley now.
Just can't catch a break at the moment, huh? It's a good penalty, well taken. John Rooney's just slammed that right down the middle on the basis that he's expecting Steve Drench to move. It's a good penalty. It's well taken. It was a high-pressure situation for him. The referee's made an awful fuss of that penalty, though, hasn't he?
I was very cautious about what you were going to say then.
He made a tremendous fuss about that. So John Rooney did well to maintain his concentration to put the ball in the back of the net, but come on.
Still,
I mean, that was from my opinion, it was a very soft penalty to go away and very unlucky. Come on, Guiseley, let's get back in this now, straight away.
So Guiseley chasing again. This time away from home, and this time it's been a more even contest between these two sides.
Yeah, you can't say that we've dominated but been unlucky to concede a goal. It really has. I suppose maybe it was always going to hinge on, an
Something
event,
like that.
something like that, a contentious penalty or a soft free kick or a sending off or something. It might yet hinge on all three of those things. But yeah, it's a different kind of frustration this afternoon. But previous to that first 15 minutes of the second half, we've had two really good opportunities. We just can't let our heads drop. As I think we did a little bit against Gateshead. We've got to keep going, got to stick to the plan, because it's not worked so far. It's seen as all right so far.
Well, there's going to be a double substitution for Guiseley very soon. Danny Boshell and Adam Boys will be coming on. They're both stripped and ready, so instant changes being made by Mark Bauer following that goal, as Will Hatfield looks to come forward. He's got Tom Craddock in little space for his left-hand side. Hatfield's done excellently there to find Zach Thompson. He's played it out to the right-hand side, finds Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby delivers it, headed away by Michael Kay. Back out as far as Brooksby, now to Lawler. A little bit more infield. Now, with Hatfield, he tries to play it out, and that is woeful. Lunging challenge comes in from Ryan Toulson. Toulson needs to be careful. He has to be careful here. I can't believe the referee's not going over to have a word there at least, because he conceded a free kick, but for a second it looked like he was going to lose his rag there.
Well, the Guiseley fans at that far side, it happened right in front of them. They're absolutely infirmant about that decision.
Well, the first change is going to be Danny Boshell coming on for Zach Thompson. And Adam Boys is the second man to come on. You'd think it might be another midfielder, perhaps, and go 4-4-2 at this stage. Just waiting for the board to go up and see who comes off.
And they've replaced number 24, Zach Thompson, and 19, Nicky Boshell.
Nicky Boshell is the other man to come off. So we still have just the one Boshell on the pitch. It's just been a change of Nicky for Danny. So Craddock and Boys get a chance to reunite their partnership in a situation where we desperately need them to. We can't go much longer without a goal, surely. This ball's played forward. Now Rooney picks it up for Chester. Great bit of skill and turn, gets away from Will Hatfield. Now Richards inside to George Thompson. He's got plenty of yellow shirts ahead. Does well, gets it out to the left-hand side. Comes to John Chappell. Chappell hits it on the half volley, takes deflection, and behind for a corner at the moment. Guiseley look a little bit too deflated, and Chester are trying to make full advantage of this.
Well, at the minute, they're sitting back a bit much. Chester have got their tails up. Maybe that's what they have to do, just ride out this next 5 minutes. Chester are going to throw everything at it, try and get a second, try and kill the game. Guiseley just have to stay strong, stay focused, stay organised at the back and attack this corner and get it out of danger as quickly as possible.
Well, it's going to be John Rooney to take this corner kick. About 65 minutes or so. I would imagine as this corner comes in right-footed, header goal bound over the top. The referee points and gives another corner. 65 gone. Possibly a minute or two more as we get another corner with Jordan Chappell to swing this one in from the right-hand side. Swings it in, right-footed up towards the back post. Good header there. Great fingertip save by Steve Drench to claw it away. Second attempt, punches it. It's still not clear though as the shot comes in from Craig Mann. Takes deflection back to Mann inside the area and goes out of play for another Chester corner. They are having to really scrap and defend for their lives at the moment, Guiseley, to not fall too behind.
Well, it's all very last minute as well. It's all hands to the pump here. Only Wayne Brooksby out of the penalty area.
So, Jordan Chappell again, right-footed, two very troubling corners in quick succession. Another one, this one goes towards the near post. Steve Drench does well, comes out, able to get that ahead of the flick, clears it first time, looking to find Wayne Brooksby. The flag goes up against him, and how can you be offside there, Wayne? That is shocking. Steve Drench has quickly tried to get that downfield, and Wayne Brooksby, all he has to do in that position is stay on the halfway line. If you're on the halfway line, you can't be offside, and that's it. He's straight away, and it's cheap because it's given the ball back to Chester, and it's just another chance for them to.
And this is what they're going to do now. They're just going to lump it into the box.
Yep. Kate takes this one, goes all the way through. Lawler was battling there with Ben Hannigan. Wouldn't have looked a little bit of a battle there, and it's gone through for a goal kick.
What concerned me there, when Steve Jones collected that last corner and ran out, and it was quite clear what he was about to do, is that Guiseley was so slow getting out of their own penalty area.
Nobody was on the same wavelength.
Really, at that point, you see your keeper collect the ball and run with it. You should be busting a gut to get over that halfway line, and it just wasn't happening.
Now the ball goes out of play. It was Craig Mann who's put it out of play via a deflection from Ben Parker, so the throw-in is Chester's. Ryan Higgins, the number 2, with the pull-back hairdo, will take the throw. Goes down the line. Boys battles with Thompson. Thompson wins that battle, and Boys should never have lost it, frankly. Mann has been clattered by Ben Parker by the looks of it. The referee is going to have a word with this assistant, I think. Mann is holding his face.
The ref's given that. The ref's given that from nearly the centre circle. The linesman didn't flag at all,
And he's
the
only 10
linesman
yards
was only
away.
10 yards away. So I don't know what the ref's seen there. Ben Parker looked just bemused because it just looked like he was at most backing into him. I think Craig Mann's made a lot of that.
Craig Mann's, yeah, I'm tempted to agree with you on that one. Seems the assistant, who was a lot closer, hasn't picked anything up. Meanwhile, free kick for Rooney over on this right side, midway inside the box, goes low. It's a difficult one. It's not been cleared away. Steve Drench does excellently. Superb keeping there to claim that.
Absolutely brilliant there because it wasn't well cleared. It went right up in the air and Drench went, right, that's mine.
Now this time, Drench goes long again. Craddock stays on side but loses the battle against Ian Sharps. The ball now with Danny Lowe. Now Boys, his touch though, he's taken a touch, but his touch was taken off the pitch. It's all got very sloppy in the last 5 minutes or so. Very scrappy, very desperate, and very sloppy.
Very scrappy game at the moment, and I mean it's sort of threatening a little bit maybe to boil over. A couple of tasty challenges away from that red we've been dreading.
It would not surprise me with the referee statistics. As I say before this, 1 game, 4 yellows and 2 red cards. Meanwhile, Brooksby does very well over on that far side to win a throw-in for Guiseley. So they've got to throw less than 10 yards away from the corner flag. Deep inside the Chester half, just in front of the cluster of Guiseley fans. Way to our left-hand side. Plenty of yellow shirts looking to come up for this one. The likes of Rob Atkinson, bearing in mind this is just a throw, has come forward to get some height in the box. The throw comes in from Toulson. It's up towards Atkinson. 2 blue shirts get up for it. Back to Toulson. Ball across, very dangerous. It's fired, goal bound by Rob Atkinson. It comes to Atkinson. Oh! Eventually it's it's cleared away. Rob Atkinson, it was one of those almost where it wasn't quite him you wanted it to. The shot comes in from Boys, parried, and surely, and Rob Atkinson, oh, the flag's up. Rob Atkinson's put it in the back of the net, but the flag's got up. He was offside. Oh.
Okay. Right. So It was good work from Adam Boyes on the edge of the box there. He's got a snapshot away. It didn't look like he got enough power on it, but it was obviously far enough away from the keeper for him to parry it away. And all the keeper's managed to do is parry it into the path of Rob Atkinson, who's seemingly strayed offside. Unlucky. But reasons to be cheerful. We created that opportunity.
Meanwhile, Chester looking to come forward. Headed back by Ryan Toulson through to Steve Drench. Going to be a double substitution for Chester very soon. Tom Pears and Tom Shaw are both going to come on for Chester. It was Pears that got the 90th minute equaliser for Chester on Saturday. Free kick has been given in Guiseley's favour. Mark Power, the man that's going to come out and give that ball back to Hatfield. So, Tom Pears and Tom Shaw. It will be George Thompson for Tom Pears. That's a like-for-like change for Chester. And number 8, Tom Shaw, is going to come on as well. So Tom Pears, he's only 18 and 19 years of age. He's a very highly rated young prospect. And the second change is number 11, Jordan Chappell, that's coming off to be replaced by Tom Shaw.
Quick rundown of the rest of the scores in the National League. Braintree 1, Aldershot 1, Dover still lead Boreham Wood 2-1, Eastleigh now lead Torquay 3-0, Forest Green 2, Bromley 1, Gateshead 1, Lincoln City 0, Grimsby 0, Macclesfield 2, Barrow are 1-0 up at Halifax, Southport 2 up against Altrincham. We'll give you the rest in the minute.
Free kick now for Guiseley. Will Hatfield takes it right-footed. That's a poor one, headed away at the first attempt by Chester. Now Pears plays a good ball out to that left-hand side. Kane Richards looking to cause problems. All 3 subs now used for both of these sides as Richards bursts forward, gets around Toulson. Boshell's there, goes down, and the referee is going to... Well, I can't believe it. I was about to say we'll have no hesitation in pointing to the spot, but instead he's booked Kane Richards for diving and has given the free kick in Guiseley's favour. I will not complain one bit about that.
Not one bit.
But
I always thought it was a dive.
I'm absolutely stunned. I was convinced that he was going to blow up for the penalty there. Obviously, from where we are, it's a long way away. It looked to me that he had been caught, but we will not complain at that.
He found himself up against Danny Boshell, and Danny, bless him, just could not cope with Kane Richards' pace there. I mean, from where we're standing, it did look like he caught him, but hey.
All in all, this referee's making himself very unpopular with both sets of fans, I think, over the course of the game. As Boyes gets a free kick, a handball is what the referee's given, and a yellow card. Well, I thought it was a handball, but he's given a yellow card for John Rooney. The referee is borderline losing control of this game. But Guiseley looking to take advantage because Guiseley have got a free kick. John Rooney's going to the boot. You can't find your pen. It's all kicking off.
Oh, my goodness. I'm still marking down Kane Richards' yellow card. He's booked John Rooney now?
He has. I'm sure the booking's just come out for John Rooney. And a free kick has been given. Centre of the... in the centre of the Chester half, the applause is for Jordan Chappell and for Thompson, who are just having their warm down in front of us. The free kick has been given. Wayne Brooksbury is the man that's going to stand over it. There is a massive wall in front of him. I think 4 blue shirts and 2 yellow. Brooksbury steps up, right-footed, over the top. Well, as I say, the referee is borderline losing control of this game.
What did we just say? It's a couple of tasty challenges or a couple of controversial decisions away from boiling over. And I think just for a minute there, it really did. I mean, it was a contentious decision to give the free kick against Kane Richards.
How long have we got to go? I don't want it to end.
About half an hour, I think.
The result at the moment is obviously not good, but as a contest, and for entertainment value...
For entertainment value, if you were neutral, it's very entertaining stuff.
Comedy of errors, perhaps, from the referee, but...
Just over 10 minutes to go.
Now, Boyes for Guiseley. Plays it inside to Wayne Brooksby. Goes back to Danny Boshell. He spreads it across to the right-hand side. Finds Toulson. Toulson just caught in possession, but the ball goes out to play for a throw-in off a Chester man. Mark Bauer pensively around, just standing around the outside of his dugout.
He's prowling, Chris.
That's the word.
That's what he's doing. He's prowling.
Now, Brooksby looking to come forward. Still Brooksby. He's run himself into trouble. There was 4 or 5 blue shirts around him. He had the options there. That's possibly been the story of Wayne Brooksby's seasons for me so far. He's run into trouble.
He runs into trouble. That's what he does. He's very, very quick and he's very, very skillful, but he needs to play with his head up. He needs to look up occasionally because he had 3 players up there with him who all expressed frustration when he just ran head first into the central defender again.
I suppose with the way this referee in this game is going, he's possibly thinking if he does that often enough, eventually he'll get a penalty. But it's very frustrating for us to watch him in the stands, and it seems for his teammates on the pitch as well. So ball now with Danny Boshell. Neat little back heel into the path of Tom Craddock. The ball spread across to Ben Parker on his left-hand side. Haven't seen a great deal of him looking to get forward, and his ball forward there is a poor one. That's something for me we have lacked in this game when we've had Danny Lowe at full-back in the first 6 games. He's looked good. He's been keen to get forward. Ben Parker, he's had to be a little bit more defensively minded perhaps, but even when guys have been on the attack, he hasn't been there as an option that often. Now Higgins with the throw for Chester, 10 yards inside the Guiseley half. It's been taken. Comes now to Craig Mann just outside the 18-yard box. Gets inside. Nice bit of skill. Shot comes in. Oh, that was almost a terrific goal from Tom Shaw. It lands just on top of the crossbar. Struck it first time. From some great footwork from Craig Mann. That's a cracking effort, has to be said.
That was a lovely back heel, and it just completely wrong-footed the defender Jake Lawler, who was going after the striker there. It was back heel to the edge of the box. It was curving all the way. It was just a little bit high, just landed on the roof of the net. It's throw into Guiseley now in the Chester half. Ben Parker to take it.
It is Ben Parker, and the referee and the supporters just in front of us behind are telling him to get back a few yards. He's taking the throw to Lawler. Infield now to Boshell. Got about 10 minutes or so, give or take, to go. Can Guiseley find themselves an equaliser? Can they take a point away from Chester? They have to do something soon to give themselves that opportunity. They'll take heart, I suppose, in the fact that anything can happen with football very quickly. Look at Chester's result on Saturday. The home side here were trailing away at Macclesfield by a goal to nil over 90th minute. They got an equaliser and then nicked it in the 94th. Guiseley will have to do something similar, you feel, if they're to get all 3 points. Whether they've deserved it, it's a different matter. It's been a very even game. Now the ball comes in from the right-hand side. Tom Craddock chases, half cleared away by Chester. Boshell goes up with Hennigan. Hennigan wins. But then the ball now comes to Brooksby. Brooksby lifts it out to that right side. Ball first time. It's a very wicked, teasing ball across. Nobody there to get on the end of it. Now Craddock will knock it back to Parker. That's a short one. Parker had to deliver early, and it's away. Headed by Jake Lawler back in towards danger. Chester now get the ball out to the feet. And Higgins now looks likely to get this forward. Tom Piers over on this right-hand side as the ball's lifted over to him. He can't control it. It goes out of play for a throw-in. But you really get the feel that we are going to have a ferocious end to this game.
This game has ebbed and flowed, hasn't it? It's had periods where it's gone a bit quiet. This is a particularly ferocious period at the moment. Will Hatfield there caught in a challenge there. It looked like he pulled up a little bit, but he seems to be moving okay now.
Yeah, Jake Lawler harrying against Hennigan. Rooney plays the ball forward, looking to find Piers. Piers up against Lowe. Youth versus experience there, but Danny Lowe does very, very well there. Keeps Guiseley in possession. Now Boshell plays it back to Atkinson. That was a little bit risky perhaps, but he's come away with this all right. He hasn't been closed down too quickly, and that Adam Boyes just drops a bit too deep there. But Hatfield now looks to come forward. He's got Brooksby to his right-hand side. He's got Craddock and Boyes in the centre. It's now out with Brooksby on the edge of the 18-yard box. Not enough yellow shirts getting forward, you feel. The corner comes in. The cross comes in. And it's surely. It's been stabbed home by Adam Boyes. He sent the travelling Guiseley fans into raptures. They haven't cleared it at all there of Chester, and they've paid the price. Guiseley on level terms, 1-1.
Persistence pays off, I guess. We were just criticising Wayne Brooksby for not playing with his head up, but he did it there. He got the ball in the box. Chester just at 6s and 7s trying to clear it, and Adam Boyes, ever the goal poacher. He's our top scorer now, you know. 2 goals.
It's a goal.
It's
the
a
best.
goal.
That's the best thing
Do
for
you remember
Guiseley.
what a goal looks like? It was brilliant.
After 2 games at home where they've dominated, possession, had the chances and failed to put the ball in the back of the net in this game, which frankly it has been a lot more even match. They finally got themselves on the score sheet. It's been a long time coming, but Guiseley have now got to defend well. They've got to stay tight. They've got to be switched on.
Well, in the couple of minutes leading up to that, we were saying it's become quite a ferocious, quite an open game. And Chester have had opportunities in this second half, and I suspect will again. So as we said at the beginning of the match, it's important Guiseley stay focused, stay strong right to the 90th minute, because this lot will not give up.
Absolutely not. Now the ball with Brooksby comes across to Adam Boyes. He does well, gets there. Brilliant sliding challenge to get the ball to Will Hatfield. Hatfield dances away from Higgins, turns back, plays it inside to Lawler. This is excellent football from Guiseley. Really, really good passing
Hatfield
play.
did so well there, 3 men around him.
Now the shot comes in from Craddock. Just looks to lift it goal bound. Optimistic, it has to be said, now for a goal kick.
He's putting his hands up and apologising to Adam Boyes there, perhaps realising that he should have tried to put the ball in the box rather than gone for the shot.
They've chosen their man of the match. For Guiseley, number 2, Ryan Tolson, and for Chester, number 6, Captain Ian Sharps.
Well, there we go. That tells you all you need to know, I think, from, in particular, Liam Dickinson's performance in this game, is that Ian Sharps has got the man of the match award from Chester's perspective.
Yeah, Sharps did well. Kept Dickinson quiet. He's had a solid game today.
It was a really good battle, wasn't it?
Yeah,
between the two,
excellent.
and it has to be said.
Yeah.
And then the sponsors there have given the Guiseley man of the match to Ryan Toulson. And you can't really argue it against him, to be honest. But
can't fault it. Toulson's, again, largely I think because Toulson's done quite a good job keeping Kane Richards quiet.
Again, that's been a very interesting battle as well. Meanwhile, Chester have the ball midway inside their half, knocked up to Mann on the halfway line. Higgins makes the overlapping run. Good work from Adam Boyes. Boyes did the initial bit brilliantly, but then leaves it, and that's allowed Chester to come forward now. Now with Mann. Mann looks to go for goal, gets the shot off. Oh, Stephen Drench didn't move, and we panicked for a little bit then because it was agonisingly close to the base of that post, or it seemed it from our angle anyway.
Mark Bauer, in the lead up to that, there was a sort of 50-50 challenge with Jake Lawler, and Mark Bauer's having yet another word with the fourth official about a challenge made by a Chester player on one of his midfielders.
It's been physical from both sides, I think.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
I'm stunned we haven't seen a red because of the referees not wanting it to be physical.
Shush. It's not too late. We're not done yet.
Drench plays that downfield. Hannigan knocks it forward, out for a Guiseley throw. Parker takes the throw over to Lowe. The Guiseley fans over on that far side in fine voice as possession has been given away by Guiseley. Boshell goes down. Mann picks up the loose ball. Higgins is on the overlap. Mann finds Higgins deep inside the Guiseley half, up against Danny Lowe. Higgins' cross comes in to Paul. There's a right little wrestling match going on there. Free kick's been given in Guiseley's favour. It was Tom Piers and Rob Atkinson that were fighting that one out.
And a bit of a light rain shower in Chester. The Guiseley fans in excellent voice now. They've finally got something to shout about. It's been a long couple of weeks, hasn't it? But yeah, I mean, please don't say we haven't seen a red, because we might yet.
Good flick on from Jake Lawler. Boys will have to chase against Sharps. Sharps has been just forced to knock that out of play. So a throw in for Guiseley. Ben Parker with the captain's armband will come forward to take the throw. Guiseley being careful not to overcommit too many yellow shirts forward. Throw-in taken. 1-2 with Jake Lawler. Back to Parker now. Now with Hatfield. Lawler goes across to Tom Craddock. Now Brooksby. He's had to go back to Danny Boshell. Still the yellow shirts are forward though. Now Boshell again looks to lift it up towards Boyes. Sharps does well, gets his head on it. Only out as far as Will Hatfield though. He pulls it back to Toulson. Toulson plays it over to Hatfield on that right hand side, not too far from the corner flag. Infield now to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby to Hatfield. Brilliant passing play. Ball goes across. It's not dealt with comfortably by John Worsnop, but at the second attempt he can get his hands on it.
Lovely bit of passing move there between Brooksby and Hatfield surging into the area to get that shot away. Keeper, I think it probably looked worse than it was. I think he had it.
Ball played forward by Danny Lowe. Tom Craddock gives chase. The flag's not gone up. Still Craddock pulls it back to Boshell. Craddock on the edge of the 18-yard box. Now to Brooksby. Brooksby looking for that moment of magic. Boys finds Boys parried away. Keeper does better this time. Gets a much better parry on him. But Chester at the moment is switching off. This is excellent from Guiseley though. They're really pressing the play, but they have to be careful not to get caught out. Good play there from Rob Atkinson to step up. Gets possession back. The offside flag surely goes up, and it does. It's unfortunate though, because I didn't think there was much in it.
No, Tom Craddock there was looming on the edge of the on the line, just waiting to burst forward, but just slightly mistimed the run.
That must be about the 90-minute mark. Yep, there's a light upon the fourth official's ball, which will indicate added time. But meanwhile, Guiseley looks to come forward through Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby up to the edge of the penalty area, slips. Now Craddock. Craddock, good save from Worsnop. This is a terrific end to the match from Guiseley. Can they make it count? Will Hatfield, body still in there. Hatfield to the right-hand side, delivers the ball, headed away by Ian Sharps. It's been terrific. 4 minutes of additional time. 4 minutes, but now Chester looking to come forward. Kane Richards have Guiseley overcommitted. Still, Richard comes, Lawler needs to bring him down or get something on it. Puts in a great tackle. Now Ben Parker nods it forward. Rooney over to that left-hand side now. Cross comes in from Johnny Hunt. Tom Peters gets his head over the top of the crossbar. Still, it remains 1-1.
Can I breathe out now? Oh my goodness! Good ball in there from John Rooney. Hunt gets a header, but he's catches it at an awkward angle. He's leaning forward. He's trying to direct it goalwards, and it just bounces off the top of his head. I mean, it's getting very wet out there now, so the ball's going to start slipping around. Players are going to start slipping around. I mean, this is going to be a long. I mean, what we got left now? 3 minutes.
Something like
It's
that.
going to be a long 3 minutes. This for both sides.
So Steve Drench clears it downfield, looking for Jake Lawler. Lawler does well, gets his head on it, can't find Craddock though. And Sharps intercepts. Now with Rooney. As Chester bring it over the halfway line, looking to play through to Peters. Shaw finds Richards. Richards now operating on this right-hand side, does well. Parker, brilliant challenge from the captain. Has to be, but you fancy a long throw being the option. Nobody coming short for this one as Ryan Higgins. There's only Kane Richards close to. Everybody else is within the penalty area. Ryan Higgins will look to launch this one. Does so. It's high rather than long. Headed away by Adam Boyes, who's back to help out. Now Higgins, his ball in. A dangerous one. It's chested down. Shouts of handball from the supporters in the terracing behind. But now Guiseley with a chance to break. Tom Craddock onside with acres of space. He's been closed down now though as Brooksby looks to find him. It's not the best of balls, and that's into Michael Kay. It was a difficult one to get across though to Tom Craddock. Now Rooney for Chester, plays it to Higgins on the halfway line. The fans here urging the Chester side to get forward. Rooney spreads that across the left-hand side. It's a poor one, knocked down. Now Boshell looks to come forward, interlinking with Craddock. Craddock finds Brooksby. Is there one last chance? Both players sliding in there with Higgins and Brooksby. It's Higgins that comes out on top though, as Shaw looks to come forward. Danny Lowe has to do well here. Gets possession. Ben Parker overhead kicks it away. It stayed in place somehow. Adam Boyes now with the ball at his feet. Back to Boyes. Now in field to Boshell. Ryan Toulson looks absolutely shattered on that right-hand side. Oh, Wayne Brooksby almost. Just need to knock it past. Instead, he knocks it against Michael Kay. And that allows Chester to counter-attack. Craig Marn on the left-hand side of the pitch. He's up against Rob Atkinson. He gets round him. He plays the ball low. It takes the deflection, goes through towards goal, and Steve Drench gets his body behind it.
Absolutely breathless passage of play. That was back and forth and back and forth. This is what we were talking about when the pitch gets wet and it gets slippery and the ball's just bouncing from one side to the other. This could go anywhere.
The surface very slick, it seems now. Now Marn looks to come forward. Back to Rooney for Chester. Still Guiseley have a minute or two, I think, to hold on. Now Richards up against Ben Parker. Parker, brilliant from the captain. Can't make it count though as Richards gets possession back a little bit too easily. Up to Rooney on the edge of the Guiseley 18-yard box. It will be heartbreaking if this goes in. Instead it goes across goal. It's a goal kick. I thought that Drench may have taken a touch on that, but instead It's gone through without one.
Yeah, it looked to me like there was a deflection or something. Maybe it just bounced off the pitch awkwardly, but that was a good move there by John Rooney.
An incredible last 15 minutes, Dave.
Oh my goodness, it's breathless. It's full on. It's two teams going for it. We've got to be nearly there now.
It's been an outstanding last 15 minutes or so, especially from Guiseley's perspective. They've had to defend dangerously at times, but going forward, it's been the best spell that we've seen from Guiseley, probably. Well, I think if Steve Drench gets this downfield, the referee blows the full-time whistle. It's a hard-fought and well-earned point from Guiseley's point of view. It's finished here at Chester, 1 goal apiece. The first for Chester from the penalty spot. John Rooney slotted the ball home after what seemed to be more than likely a handball decision went against Guiseley. And then the equaliser late on, Adam Boyce stabbing home a loose ball from close range after Chester rarely on this occasion had failed to clear their lines. It's been a very good, entertaining game of football between two sides. Full time here at the Lookers Vauxhall Stadium. It's Chester 1, Guiseley 1.
A goal for Guiseley. We got one at long last. I mean, it's not that long since we did score, but after the 4-0 defeat against Aldershot and the 2-0 defeat against Gateshead, it does feel like an awfully long time since we saw a Guiseley player put a ball in the back of the net. Who was that player? Nicky Boshell. Or was it Adam Boyce?
And the last goal we got before this was Nicky Boshell's free kick
at Barrow. Doesn't that seem like an awful long time ago now? But hey, look, we've got it. And credit to Chester, they played well and they harrowed us and they hassled us and they created a good lot of opportunities. But Guiseley, this is what we said they had to do at the beginning. They had to stay strong. They had to stay focused right to the final whistle. And they never let up and they never let themselves down. It did look like a couple of times it might have got out of control. You know, the referee was clearly quite willing to give bookings, to give yellow cards, to give red cards. But I think we managed that part of the game particularly well. I think we maintained a good level of possession as well. I'd be interested to see what the actual statistics are. Really more solid performance, I think, than against Gateshead, and a more level across the whole 90 minutes performance than against Gateshead.
Absolutely. I think the biggest surprise for us, Dave, is the fact that the referee never showed a red card. It certainly seemed in that last 15-20 minute period when Kane Richards was booked, I think, and then John Rooney was booked for something that seemed fairly innocuous, like most of the bookings have been. You know, at half-time, we were fairly certain that we'd see red in this game, and miraculously, we haven't done. It's been hard-fought and strongly fought, and I expected the referee to show a red at some point.
Well, I think we both did. We both did at half-time. The Chester radio guys thought at half-time, and you know, I think perhaps it's credit to both teams that perhaps they realised that was on the cards, so to speak, and managed the game to an extent to stop that from happening. But yeah, I think it's a creditable away point against a team that are doing very well at the moment. They've come off a high, and yeah, I think they've got a lot to be proud of.
Absolutely. Dave, would you like to do the honours and, for a start, just run us through the full-time and the latest scores in the Vanarama National League?
So mostly full-times here, only one still going on. Aldershot have won away at Braintree by 2-1. Dover, this is the one still going on. Dover still lead Boreham Wood by 2-1. That'd be a good win for Dover. Eastleigh were 3-0 up against Torquay. Torquay mounted a comeback to only lose by 3-2. Forest Green's good start to the season continues, 2-1 at home to Bromley. Gateshead have overcome Lincoln City by 2-0. Macclesfield win away at Grimsby. That's a 2-0 win for them there. Halifax have got their first win of the season at home to Barrow, 3-1 there. And Southport lead Altrincham. Have beaten Altrincham by 3-0. Tranmere were 2-0 up against Kidderminster. Kidderminster came back. It's 2-2 there. Woking in a fortnight, visitors to Nethermore have won today at home to Welling. And in about half an hour, live on BT Sports, it's Cheltenham against Wrexham.
So that brings you up to a couple of noticeable scores there. I think that's a massive win for Southport, it has to be said, against Altrincham. And of course, Halifax, they've picked up their first win of the season.
Well, they'll be happy enough with that, won't they? I mean,
even if we're not. No. Joking aside.
Joking.
Yeah.
Well done, Halifax, and all that.
So, to round up here, it's finished Chester 1, Guiseley 1. A point on the road for the Lions. A well-earned and hard-fought point it was as well. The goal coming late on from Adam Boyes, stabbing it home from close range. Don't forget, next Saturday, we make the slightly daunting task of the trip down south to Torquay. Of course, coverage of that game will be here on Guiseley Radio. I think at the moment the plan is myself and Colin Robertson will be making the trip down for that one. Do wish us luck with that. So yeah, don't forget, tune in. Let us know your thoughts as well through the week between now and then on how you feel that Guiseley will do at play mode. Tweet us at Guiseley Radio. Don't forget, give us a follow on there as well. It would be much appreciated. So I think that's about it to finish off with from myself and Dave Kendra here at the Lookers Vauxhall Stadium. It's finished Chester 1, Guiseley 1, and the Lions get a late point on the road.